on track, you feel me? I might as well get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informants informing, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings are not a snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jota, pop out like a cutter. Telling the quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with peasant needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy December. Can y'all believe it? We are in the final stretch of... I'm sorry, I'm in a different chair. I don't know where I'm going tonight. We are in the final month of 2024. Y'all have been rolling and bouncing with us for a whole 12 months. Give yourselves a big bravo for that. We appreciate and love you so very much. Without you guys, where would we be? I don't know, but I'm glad that we are here and we are here together. So thank you, everybody, for being in the building on tonight. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I pray that all is well with you and your families. Now we got to get ready for Christmas. The year is gone by, but that's all right. If you've been good, you won't have to worry about it. Santa might be nice. Bring you something nice. All right. So welcome back to Thursday Nights with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo with Sheila Network, the greatest network in these YouTube streets. And as promised, when we left in November, we were celebrating, it was my Grace Plus Grace. And we continuing to celebrate. At least I know I am definitely going to continue to celebrate as the rest of the year goes by. So with that being said, we appreciate you again, as always. But when we left the month of November, we were talking about, can a cheater change? And that topic was so hot that we had to bring it back because we couldn't get it all in one night. It just wasn't going to happen. So I'm going to ask you all to like, to subscribe, and to share. Invite a friend into this great conversation and into this space. We know that the people will come piling in a bit, but for right now, I want to greet those that are here in the building. And of course, we're starting off with, I would say, well, let me back it up a little bit. Because without this lady, and we celebrated her actually on the last Thursday of November. She is the curator of this amazing space, none other than Pastor Sheila Ingram herself. And it was her birthday at the end of November. And thank her so much because she always yields me this captain share every Thursday night to come spend this time with you. And so that's why we are here, able to bring great content, great information, and have great conversations. So we love you, Pastor Sheila, aka my Auntie Bravo. Appreciate you so very much. Now, for those others who are in the house, of course, we also couldn't do what we do without the greatest moderator in these streets, which is none other than Nay Kenya in the building, as always, on her post. Hey, beautiful. Good to see you. So glad that you are able to join us on tonight, as always. I just love and appreciate her so much. We all do here at Bravo. And who else we got in the house? Good Lord, we got Vaughn Eric, blessings all with the million L's because he don't want nobody to be left out. Blessings to you, Vaughn Eric. And of course, you know him, the encounter and the experience. The psalmist voice, also known as Pastor Chris, is in the comments. So let's go. It's on and popping. And you know her, you love her. She is my kin. The Ace Perspective. Lady Anitra is in the house saying good evening all and welcome. So for those of you who are in the silent sections on tonight, I invite you to come on down to the comment section. I promise you it's safe down here. We got security. You'll be fine. As always, we just ask the number one rule of this house and this platform is respect. So while we are not a Christian-based network, let's make that clear. As I always say, we who do participate in these conversations are believers, or the majority of us are believers. And with that being said, we just want to make it known that, again, this is not a Christian-based space. We respect everybody's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. As I always say, whatever your moral compass is, we appreciate it. We look forward to it, to you sharing your thoughts. We just ask that everyone would do so respectfully. We don't come to convict nor to convince. We come to have real conversation with real resolutions. That's all. We just want to share from our wealth of knowledge and experience. We are not professed to be experts, although some of us are certified counselors, doctors, therapists, all that good stuff. We do have some people who this is what they do, what we do. So if you need the professional help in any area, we can definitely connect you. But when we have these conversations, we are just coming to speak from the experience of our lives. That's what we are experts in what we do. So whatever your moral compass is, we welcome it here. We just, again, ask that you be respectful. So come on in, join us tonight. Like, subscribe, share, invite a friend. Please, ma'am, please, sir, hit that thumbs up button. It is free 99. It helps us build our algorithm. It helps push this great content out into these YouTube streets so that other people can take advantage of hearing this great conversation. So, let me see what else we get. But if you do need, I said we're not a Christian-based network. However, if you do need some spiritual guidance, encouragement, some prayer, a word of some kind to keep you going, you can go right across the street to the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. And over there, you will find Pastor Sheila. She is on at various times throughout the week. And she will bring words of encouragement through the kabod. There's moments of meditation. There is music. It's just just everything that you need for your spirit. On Tuesday mornings, we have Pastor Rosa, none other than my mom, literally, aka Mama Rosa, who comes on at 10 a.m. to share a word. And then on Fridays, we have the fabulous trio, the Women of Grace, Pastor Sheila, Pastor Rosa, and my auntie, I call her my auntie gangster, Reverend Jenny. She comes on, the three of them come and they share, breaking down the women of the Bible. Ladies, tune in, catch the replay. I promise you're going to find yourself in some of, if not all of, these women that they discuss. So you can like, subscribe, and share over there as well. See, so we got you covered. We got something for your natural and something for your spirit. Okay, don't worry about it. We got you covered between the two stations. And don't forget to tune in on Monday nights to my fellow podcasters, my Harlem Girls family, Coach Pache and Dr. Elaine Edwards, as they, Dr. Elaine, I'm sorry, too many Elaines. Dr. Elaine, when they have Mondays Beyond the Mic, and they come and have talks about various moments, various topics in relationships. So with all that being said, and I believe that's covering all of our church announcements, if you would. But before we go, I do want to wish, because I don't want nobody saying that, I was being biased, because we know I said November is the greatest month out of the 12, and I still believe that it is. You can't change my mind. But in all fairness, since we are in December, I want to take a minute to wish Lady Anitra Ace Carter, who is usually on with us. She is a part of our ladies' room. A happy birthday. Her birthday is tomorrow, so we wish her a happy birthday. And y'all gonna have to give it up real big for this one, because on Saturday, December 7th, this amazing woman who is full of wisdom, spunk, fire, and knows how to set it off in any setting. She's a pint-sized, power-packed gem. She is my mom, Pastor Rosa, aka Mama Rosa, and her birthday is on Saturday, and she will be hitting a milestone turning 80. So happy birthday, mommy. We love you. We pray that God gives you many, many more years. So I want to make sure to get all of these things in and out of the way before we get into this conversation, because we know it is about to go down. You are welcome, Ace. Listen. Okay, should have hooked me up. I'm ready. You see what I got? You see what I got? This for you. This is in honor of you, Anitra. I got you, my Ken. All right, because I'm still celebrating, y'all. I'm still celebrating. I am so excited on tonight. So, without further ado, we got Bishop Claiborne is in the house. Oh, here we go, y'all. Here we go. So, as we're picking up from our conversation of part one of Can Cheaters Change? We brought the crew back, and we might have a surprise or two in a bit, but I'm going to bring them up one by one to let you know who's going to be sharing in this conversation on tonight, continuing in this good talk. First, we call him, well, I call him, he is the troublemaker of the bunch. It is his fault we are landed on this topic. I won't say fault, but this was a topic that he brought up, and we lit into it. So here we go. He is becoming a regular voice in this place, and we appreciate it, part of the men's lounge. And he is none other than Vaughn, Mystery Invisible Man, Black Power Ranger. I think that's right, Pastor Chris, the Black Power Ranger, Mystery Man, Vaughn Eric. Come on, say hi to the people, sir.
Hello, how everybody doing? Happy birthday to the beautiful young lady, Pastor Dr. Rosa, and the Queen, the Ace Perspective. Happy birthday to her also. May God bless y'all with many, many more.
All right there. All right. Well, thank you for joining on tonight. And next up, y'all know him. Y'all love him. It's getting to the point where he needs no introduction, but I still like to make it big for him, because if you don't know, you will know before it's all over and said and done. He is none other than the lead moderator over in the men's lounge. And listen, he brings the fire every time. You either, listen, you got to take him as is. There's no small doses, power packs all the time. And he is in the person of the psalmist voice, aka Pastor Chris. Come on up, PC. Say hey to the people. Okay.
I'm sorry. I was morphing into my Black Ranger power.
Yes.
Anyway, God bless your family. It's time to take it to another level. Is round two. Now, of course, being that I'm having issues with this, I don't know what's going on. So I'm just gonna verbally say happy birthday to the mascot, the newsletter girl, the pep rally mascot of the Fluffy Nation, our sister Ken Folk, the perspective. Anitra, happy birthday, sis. I hope you have a very awesome birthday. Too bad we could not roast you tonight. Anyway, and of course, without further ado, I have to give respect where respect is due to none other than Pastor Rosa. She is going to reach a milestone that most of us wish we could get to, and I would love to be that person as well. But happy birthday, Mama Rosa. God bless you. You are definitely a gem, and we are great to have you around for your wisdom as well as your short stature, but you are big in a lot of ways. So don't let her stature fool you, because she will cut you
Do
down
not.
to size. But anyway, I'm ready to get it in. Let's get it. Let's go. With me and Von Eric, if it's just us tonight, we got this whole thing covered. Let's go.
Lord Jesus, here we go. And he drops his mic, of course. Well, thank you so much. Told y'all, listen, it's going to be what it is tonight. Who knows where we're going to end up? I don't, but we shall see. This platform takes on a life of its own. And also joining us on tonight, probably because I threatened him that I was going to boycott the prayer room. But, it is what it is. He is my prophetic boss. You know him. You love him. He's no stranger here. He's becoming a regular. We going to put him on something. We going to put him on everything. He is known as the prophetic bishop. Okay. But tonight, we gonna let him drop his titles. We ain't gonna hold him to. We ain't gonna hold none of the men to their titles tonight. They ain't gotta be Pastor Chris. They ain't gotta be Bishop. They ain't gotta be Prophet. He also is a author, a businessman. He got 9,000 jobs. I don't think there's anything on this side of heaven that he has not done. But he is a relationship coach, just a man of knowledge and wisdom. So we gonna bring him up. He is in the person of Coach Black Men Don't Cheat, Michael Claiborne. Come on and say hi to the people tonight, Bishop.
That is absolutely true. Well, I don't know why they don't get that in their spirit by now, but I am glad to absolutely be here. I am hooky in church, and lady, don't go get me in trouble.
Nope.
But I'm hooking up church. But I put on my Mike Tyson outfit because I know some of these people in here make you want to fight.
Listen.
And so I'm trying my best to keep my cool. But I'm here tonight. Me and Pastor Chris, we gonna get it popping. It's gonna be on. We came inside. Happy birthday to all the December birthdays, of course, Mama Rosa, and to Anitra. I wanted to make sure all of my people come to prayer tomorrow. So I said, I better be in here tonight so that they don't miss prayer tomorrow. But I am ecstatic and excited about you guys, and I'm excited about the conversation. Let's get it on. Sometimes it's in order to get an understanding. The Bible says, "In all that I get an understanding." You got to have the conversation so that you can understand the mindset or where things is or where things come from. So what I love about your platform that you're doing is that you're not afraid to tackle the issues. You're not afraid to say, listen, let's talk about it. And I often tell people there's not always a right or a wrong. It's just people's perspective. You see how I did that, Ace? It's just perspective. Okay, my bad. And so tonight, it's going to be my perspective. And I'm excited about it. So let's go with it.
All right. Well, let's get it on and popping. And don't worry, ladies. I know. Don't think that the playing floor is not level, because I can handle my own up here with the fellas. Don't even worry about it. I got y'all. It's what we do up here. 3 against 1, but 1 equals 3. So this is how I roll. I'm compact. I got it all. I'm doing it's the new math. Okay. But you never know. You never know who might pop up. Might have to pull Mama Rosa up on here on tonight. Oh, we got some good stuff coming up. So we want to continue our conversation about, can a cheater really change? If you didn't get to catch the replay, I suggest you go back and do it. But this topic became really deep because we hit certain pockets in it and we needed to rest there. Bishop Claiborne was talking about, I'm sorry, I'm going to call you Bishop tonight. Coach Claiborne was talking about we have to consider the motive behind what makes a person be in the position to cheat. He says all cheating is not equal. And we all did share some of our stories and our personal experiences that we have had. Pastor Chris made the point of people feeling safe enough to share what issues they may be going through. I went back and I looked over it. I appreciated one of the things he mentioned about, how life happens and life is happening and people dealing with real issues and things that may cause them to have commitment issues, that may cause them to go outside of a relationship because maybe sometimes people are getting too close. There's a bunch of different reasons. Vaughn Eric was bringing up a point of how we have to consider how someone perceives cheating. What may be cheating to one and something that someone does in their natural habit, what they do that, is just normal life to someone else in the relationship space may consider that cheating. I think he said cheating, you might cheat by mistake. Is that what it was, Von Eric? Is that what you said? That's what he
Yep.
said, right?
Yep. Could be looked at as that. Yep.
Okay, so let's start there for a second. And I was trying to pull these points that all three of you started with, because those are things that resonated with me in the conversation. And as you all know, our conversations they take on a life of their own. So where we start is definitely not where we're going to finish. But I thought these were key points that were important for us to tap on and to talk about, so that we can open up understanding and perspectives to other people, so that maybe we won't be so quick to accuse someone that we're with of cheating, that we would learn how to have conversation, which is key in any relationship. I don't care what it is. So, Von Eric, could you just elaborate a little bit more about what you meant about mistaken cheating? Because for me, I was like, I don't know how you can mistakenly cheat. That's not a thing in my world.
Like what Coach was saying is different levels. And I think in that same clip, when we was talking about as far as your personality, you could have a personality that someone that you with can look at as like a flirtatious, and look at that as you're cheating, because you're doing things as far as disrespecting the person that you with. You see what I'm saying? You could be, a person can look at you cheating, like when you spend too much time at work with the boss. They can look at that as, hey, you're not spending time with me. Like that woman said that was speaking to James Baldwin. When she was speaking like her husband at work. So I think I sent you that clip that lied to me. If you can do that at the job and things like that, and you can lie to that boss and smile in his face, why can't you come home and do the same to me? So it could be looked at in different ways. And when a mistake comes, if y'all two talk, and the communication for you to slow that down or stop it, you may do it again because you're used to it. This is within your nature. This is how you was raised. This is your perspective. And when you do it by a mistake, because that's who you are, that you doing it by a mistake, and you're going to tell the person, oh, that my bad. I'm so used to doing it this way. I didn't mean to do it to hurt you, because I know how you feel about it.
Thank you for that recap. Now, my response, and I do want the gentleman also to chime in on this also, is that to me in this case, considering that scenario, that is a very real thing. But I understand he's making the point of how a person could perceive that behavior or your natural actions as cheating. However, for me, I wouldn't consider that cheating. And he was saying, you can cheat by mistake, but I don't think that you should own that as a mistake. I think you should acknowledge the person's feelings, acknowledge their perspective. But I feel, why would you take the blame onto something that you did not do? And I feel that way because once you start doing that in the relationship, you will have to continue to do that in the relationship, because you're setting a tone. In a sense, you are pacifying that person in their insecurities or in their understanding. Whenever you come into a relationship, two people, you only know each other for as much as the day, and for as much as time as you spent with each other in that particular day. We grow. You don't know how a person will act or react or respond in a situation until that situation happens. So it's new to both of you. So I think we as people have to be very careful as to how we are reacting and responding when we're seeing our partner take action on something that is uncomfortable to us. And before we label it as them cheating because of our insecurity, we need to have a conversation. Is what they're really doing that big, is my reaction equal to their action? Because again, I just really think that when we do that, and I respect, Von Eric's perspective, and I totally understand where he's coming from. My concern in that, again, is just when you're acknowledging or taking it on as a mistake, you're going to be apologizing for every little thing that you do that makes them uncomfortable. And then the one time that you finally, if you keep giving into that person for 2 years or 6 months, then the one time that you fed up, because you're going to start feeling like, why am I always apologizing? I didn't do anything wrong. Why am I always having to explain myself? When do you come up? When do you grow up? You know, when do we get to the balanced place? When do we get to talk? Why am I always wrong? Because you didn't like I stayed at work later. Okay, let's talk about it. You can call. How can I help you feel more comfortable with that? I just don't feel like you should own up to what you do, yes, but make sure that it's something that you did and you're not pacifying your partner. But I understand where you're coming from, and that's a very real aspect of things, the way things happen.
Well, yeah, you speaking. Yeah, I agree with that. But you're speaking on a person that is unable to maybe I'm unable to deal with it, and the way the person takes it. Yes, that person will. Every time you turn around, if that person is like that, then you have to make a decision. Do you want to continue if this person is like that? So you speaking on a certain scenario, some people may not respond that way. It could be a mutual communication on both sides, but this person may have done it, but the other person may say, you know what, that's no problem. We just communicated. I understand, you're going to make that mistake a few times because this is something that it's different and you change it. So a person may be like, okay, I understand that. Or a person may come like what you're saying, that you will have to continue always apologizing. But that's a person doesn't know how to deal with their emotions or something that they're going through what's inside of them. So I completely understand that scenario.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to say, come on, PC and Coach Claiborne.
Here's the thing with perspective. Everybody has one. Everybody has a perspective that we don't have together. 3 of us up here wear glasses, but I guarantee you we all wear different strengths. We all wear them, but what it takes for Lady Dawn to see may not be what it takes for Pastor Chris to see. And what it takes for Pastor Chris to see may not be what it takes for me to see. As a matter of fact, we could be in the same room, watch this now, pass each other glasses around. And even though you wear glasses, you can't see with mine.
True.
Even though I wear glasses, I can't see with Pastor Chris. Why? Because I don't see from his perspective. I see from my own. My perspective is shaped by my experience, my lineage, my DNA, my culture, my religion. My perspective is from that perspective. So what I think is cool, you may not think it's cool, and you label it to be something that I think and no, it's not. For me to like, quote unquote, for me to like all the commanders, picture, real, means, for me to like all of them, and on Instagram is heart. For me to heart all the commanders. You knew in my life, you don't know all the commanders. Even if you knew all the commanders, now some of the commanders are pretty. You don't see them as my ministry people. They cute. So for me to heart my commanders, because they are the people that I minister to. They are the people that I work with. They are the people that I'm connected to. For me to heart them, and now you're on my page and you see that heart came up, and now your perspective is you're cheating on me because you hearting these pretty women things. I'm not hearting just normal pretty women,
because we're
hearting people that I work with. I'm hearting people that I'm connected to. And from my perspective, hearting, because I'm also a fashion guy. I'm also a person that likes style. So you don't know why I'm hard, but I know people who have blew up their whole relationship, Pastor Chris, because of 2 different perspectives. I don't think the heart means nothing. As a matter of fact, Lady Dawn, I say this and that's so very true. I say it with all confidence. No woman has ever cheated on me. Why would they? Look at me. I'm fine.
Come
Okay.
on.
Okay. You know I'm gonna get it in one time before the night is over.
We can't help that, beautiful people. We can't help it.
I can't help it. But here's the thing. If they have, Pastor Chris, I don't know. Because I'm not looking for it. I'm not on their social media looking at who they heart. I don't care. Because that's not my mind. My perspective is every like and every heart and every if I'm sitting at the table with you and you saying, hey honey, how you doing, to the waiter, I'm not thinking in my mind, oh, she tried, because that's not my I don't level my mind like that. But I had a girl one day, I was at the McDonald's. And I said, the girl passed me my McDonald's, and that's the great Lady Dawn. I said, thank you, baby. Just that whole Louisiana baby kind of just thank you, that whole sweet. Do you know my fries was cold? My sandwich was cold by the time I got home. Cause you know that blew up. I can't believe you call her baby. Who is you talking? First of all, it comes off so easy. You hear it sometime in prayer. I had to catch myself because I'll be like, baby, let me tell you. Sometime in prayer, I'll be in the midst of prayer. And Lady Dawn will tell you, it will come right out. And then my mouth will, because it's just, I'm not calling her. Well, I can't, but to the point, this is what they said. Don't call me baby anymore. Wait, my baby to you is not what I just said to her. That was old, especially an older person. See, that's baby, everything. It meant a perspective. You turn everything into something that it don't have to be nothing. So I'll end with this. Sometimes what people call cheating is because that's where their mind is. That's their thought pattern. We're going to get further down the line when I talk about having opposite sex as friends.
Oh yes.
And you got so we'll come back to that because you can consider that to be something that is not. And I want to deal with the question: can cheaters get another chance? Absolutely.
Good question.
Absolutely. That's the question. There's only one answer, and the answer is absolutely. Thank you.
I love it, and I love it, and I love it. I love what you said, and I think also one of the things that we have to consider when you were speaking is about balance. If you are talking to or spending all your time, in other places with other people, but not giving your mate, time and attention that they may need or require, then of course that is going to lend to them feeling uncomfortable, starting to question, maybe not if you're cheating, but question how you feel about them, which then leads to those type of moments of insecurity when a woman or man may start to question or may start to feel a certain kind of way. No, I see you shaking your head. What I'm saying, we have to be mindful when it comes to I understand with perspective, but we also have to consider balance, because when we start to pay attention to more outside things than we do in our relationship or who we're with, that leaves that person feeling very vulnerable, very open, and starting to question. Sometimes they question themselves. So what we may be doing that is normal, we just have to consider balancing our perspective. And before returning,
what do you mean by balance? I just want to get your when you say balance, because coach was saying as far as baby, which is very interesting and true. I may use the word baby in a way that you don't use it, and my perspective is different or definition in that word. So when you're using balance perspective, what do you mean by that?
No, when I say balance, well, okay. When we was talking about the people of how a person's, wait, before I answer that, because I don't want to leave anybody hanging, I want to bring up one more person to the platform on tonight. She is here for the first time, but it will not be the last time. That's right. I said she. I don't come alone, although I can hold my own. But welcome to the Bravo Nation Thursday Night with Lady Dawn B podcast. My sis, Risha Epps is in the building. Hey, sis. Come on, say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
she needs you. Yeah, she needs you.
That's my voice. I don't need no. I can hold my own. I've been holding it.
She got it.
Oh, you go see, Lady Dawn, you gonna make me have to behave because
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
you don't know that side of me. And she honors her bishop, her man of God. She really does. And so you're gonna
Yeah, we all do, but tonight Bishop ain't here. We talking to Coach. Tonight we talking with Coach Michael Blackman. Don't cheat Claymore. That's
oh Lord, I'm gonna have to do an extra prayer tomorrow because
we might have to leave prayer for you tomorrow. We don't.
He covers the man of God. I got Lord Jesus. Help us today.
Thank you.
Welcome, Prophetess Risha.
Thank you. Nice to be on the stage with all of you, Bishop and Von Eric and brother. What's going on?
You never know what's gonna happen. You never know who's popping up. Okay.
Right. You should have texted me.
No. I was not. Nobody.
Never that.
You know, I ain't holding my tongue, so it is what it is. I got you, Coach. Don't worry about it. I got it.
We want all the smokes, all the fire on tonight. Before I answer Von Eric's question and then get to Pastor Chris, welcome, my sis, the original members of the ladies room, my sis Tidbits T Blessings. My sis, it's good to see you here, and of course, look who's in the building, none other than the queen of the Bravo and Sheila Network herself, Pastor Sheila, saying blessings, everyone. Have a great show. Thank you. We are trying our best over here, Auntie. We gonna hold it down. You know how Thursday nights go. Oh, I would say pray for us, but I don't want nobody to waste their all tonight. We come with all of the toxicity. Let it be on the floor. Now, to answer your question, Von Eric, when I was speaking of balance, well, number one perspective, as Bishop was mentioning about how, okay, like you said, we all wear glasses. If we were to switch and put each other's glasses on, we're still not going to see things the way that person who the glasses belong to. We're not going to see it the way they see it because our vision is not set up for that. Our experiences are not set up to see it the way they see it. It's going to be distorted. And it's going to be distorted even more so because I've added something onto my already bad vision. So with perspective, we have to be open and willing to correct our vision and what we're seeing. And I believe that happens again through communication. Before you start blaming someone, before you start labeling someone, I would be the woman I am, be like, okay, let me ask you something, babe. You know, am I seeing right when I saw this? You know, or I feel like you may have been talking to her a little too long. Not accusing you, but I would come and say to you if there's something I'm uncomfortable with, because from my perspective of what I'm seeing, if you're standing here talking to a woman, for some women, talking to some woman for 2 minutes might be too long. For another woman, you could talk to another woman for an hour and it wouldn't matter. Again, that's their perspective and how they feel within that. So I just want to answer that part. When I referred to balance, what I'm talking about is when you are, what affects our perspective, or what can affect our perspective, is when a person is spending more time or giving more attention to outside things than to the person or the relationship that they're in. If you don't have the conversation to understand this is how our relationship works, I may not have a lot of time for you. So I'm at work all day. We work 8 hours. You at work, you're outside of your home more than you're at home. You know, but we have to find a way to give equal time and attention to make sure we are feeding our relationships so that they're healthy, just as we are feeding our outside activities and things. Because when we don't, a person can feel neglected, a person can feel left behind, a person can feel unseen or unattractive. And if we're not communicating, our minds are going to create a story that may not be. That may not be the case. If we don't talk, you're leaving me to my own thoughts. And again, we can create our own stories. So when I'm speaking, and again, that goes to perspective. This is the way I'm seeing it. Men, y'all, I've heard this many times, and I would say most, not all, as Pastor Chris says. He says some, not all, but today I'm going to say some, most, not all. When a woman starts to complain about not having enough time, a lot of men will say, I'm out working. I'm out doing this. I'm doing that to make sure that we have, to make sure that you have, to make sure that the bills are paid, to make sure. And we as women can tend to still feel left out or neglected because of that. So then we are upset because you have this job that we feel that we are in competition with, which you may have had from the beginning. But again, it's about communication and perspective. When you're not in competition with my job, I'm doing the same thing I've been doing. But a woman starts to feel neglected. And I'm just speaking for because I'm a woman. So, and men, it could be the other way around. So when I'm speaking of balance, I'm saying we have to make sure that we are finding some balance to engage with all parts of our lives equally. Not to say 50-50, because everything is not 50-50. Equal and balance is not always the same, but we have to make sure that we are addressing and touching all parts of our relationships equally, in the sense of giving it the time and the attention that it needs. It's effort. If you put more effort into going to your job than you do into spending time with your family or whatever it is, then it becomes unbalanced. And then it leaves people to a different kind of perspective. And then it causes people to make up their own stories because there's no communication. So communication helps me to change my perspective. It will align my vision so that I understand what I'm seeing and not making it my own story. So I hope that made sense to you.
Well, that's not necessary.
Huh?
That may not be necessarily true. I can have a communication about my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It may not change your perspective, but you can understand my perspective.
Right. But in helping me understand your perspective, it does somewhat change my perspective because
No, it may not change. Your perspective still may feel that way. But
well,
if you
my feelings may feel that way.
perspective,
It's going to help me understand what I'm seeing.
right,
Now, and I'm
right,
saying breaking it
right.
down, not being combative, but I'm talking about the
No,
process.
I need you.
You know what I'm saying? As the process, it does change my perspective of you, of what's happening, but maybe not the situation, because you've explained. Now it's up to me to understand and put it into action
Correct.
and say, now when I see this, I can't respond like I used to. Why? Because when I do, the first thing you're going to say to me is, but I told you. I told you this. And this is where we get into this, head knocking arguments that is, but I told you. And we may be like, yeah, but still. And you're like, but I told you. And that's because we refuse to accept what you're saying. And that's not a man thing. I would say that's, and I'm just speaking man and woman because, you and I talking, that is a woman thing or the other person's thing. That's the thing. I have to decide whether I'm going to accept what you're saying, if I'm going to change, not be so hard in what I see, because it's a hard place in me that refuses to allow me to accept that what you're saying is not what I'm seeing. Does that make sense? Okay. Come on, PC.
I'm about to just start a whole bunch of trouble right now, so
Come
I
on.
hope the brothers are ready. I'm about to make a statement that probably the chat gonna light up in just a few minutes, but I'm gonna say this to start it off. Now, some of us, if some of us grew up in my era, we remember this commercial called We know the jingle. Some of us don't want to grow up. We still want to be Toys R Us kids, right? So of course we play games and video games and toys and all that stuff because we still have that mindset. Now, here's my thing, and I'm about to just drop it.
Come on.
If you never experience you, male and female, your perspective will never be right. Period. I'm done.
Well, okay. Well, elaborate for us what you mean by if you've never experienced you.
Okay, I guess we got to go Lifetime original movie right now, Coach. So
No,
let's
some
go.
people may not,
All
some
right.
people may not understand what what that means. It might be a new term to them. So that's why I'm saying, we want to help the people understand.
Okay, no problem. Well, some of us may have never been able to experience you. Like, for example, there are people that's been jumping from relationship to relationship and never really had time for them, never really understood what was their thing, what was not their thing, what is this, what is that. So kind of in those perspectives, if you never had time for you, male or female, you're going to have issues. I don't care who you are. Now, am I saying that communication is not the key? That's not what I'm saying. Am I saying that being open is not the key? That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is if you continue to go through this adult life and never had time to reset or repivot or regroup or do any of that, and then you keep going into relationships with all this mess, your perspective is going to be thrown off. Now, I don't care how good they look. I don't care how thick they are. I don't care how tall or short. I don't care if they got muscles, no muscles, dad bods. I don't care what it is. If you've never handled your stuff, it's going to be an issue. Now, it takes a big man to admit that. Got t-shirt and hat. It also takes a big woman to admit that. There's a lot of them out there. That's why a lot of them are still holding it down and they doing what they got to do. But I also understand that you can't use it as a crutch either. I get it. Some of us use that and we stay single for 30 years or 20 years or whatever it is because of what JoJo did to you or what Sally did to you. I think after a good 2 years or year tops, you should be good unless you've been in a long-term marriage or things like that. You've had your spouse passed away, things like that. Then that's a whole separate conversation. But not when you just been booed up for a couple of years and then you just that's just, I mean, come on. But anyway, that's just my perspective. Like I said, I'm gonna throw the gavel all in the mix because I know we're trying to be safe, but I'm not that kind of guy because it's males versus females tonight, men versus women, and I came swinging. So let's get it. Let's go. I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know we didn't know it was that we going that way. We doing the men versus the women. That ain't no problem. It's like you bring all the smoke, we with it. Ain't nobody scared of that. Now, right. Do what you do.
What?
Right. We can go down. Thank you for further explaining what you said because again, some people may not have understood what that means. And he's saying like if you haven't taken time to be with you and understand what you like and what you don't, for yourself, what is good for you, then yes, you will go out and you might seek the wrong things quite often because I think in those cases you're looking for, and this is going to kind of lead us off the path, and I don't want to go that way, but I'm going to say it. So that kind of brings you to actually you end up seeking out gap fillers and time wasters because you are trying to fill a void and fill a space. You're trying to see what you like. You're like taste testing things. And I like this for about 4 months. And no, I don't like it no more. But when you take the time to get to know you, then you have a better idea of what you like and how you can move forward in getting what you like. And that's a very good point. You have to take time to get to know you and make the decisions for yourself which way you want to go with you. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm saving it. I'm saving my heavy ammunition for later. But
Okay, we not playing safe. We don't play safe here. We never do. We just being a little nice, trying to recap for the people who may not have been here before. So again, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B. We are doing part 2 of this conversation. Can a cheater really change? And we were just recapping a little bit, getting the conversation brewing on tonight. We got Vaughn, Eric, the Invisible Man, Black Power Ranger. We got Pastor Chris, the Experience and the Encounter, dropping the mic as always. We got Coach Michael, Black Men Don't Cheat, Claiborne. And we have my sister Risha. She gonna bring the fire. Epps up in the house on this evening. And we're just recapping some of the points from last week because they were really good points. Again, I encourage everyone to go back and check out the replay. So I want to leave room for Risha to come on in and share with us on tonight whatever you would like to at this point of what you've heard so far, or even on the topic subject, and then we're going to dig deeper.
So here is how I see it. People respond out of their insecurities and their insufficiencies. And that's men and women. So when you talk about communication, sometimes it's hard to, even when you're saying the proper thing, it's hard for the person who is operating from an insecure space to hear what you're saying and even respond properly. So the bottom line is, it's best to know who you're dealing with and if there's something you want to deal with, because it doesn't change necessarily. It requires time. Do you have the time? Do you have the time to nurture? Are you ready to keep bumping your head? Is this what you want to do? Is this the space of life that you're in? Is this the direction we're going in? You have to not only know who you are, but also assess the person, not for what they say, but for what they do. Because the only continuum in any relationship that I have been in has been me. So if those relationships have failed in such a way that we are not on good terms, we still have issues, there are problems, our stories don't align, whatever the case may be, and that's in every relationship I get in, then I'm the constant. So I am the problem, which means if I'm the problem, then I'm going to be the problem in the next relationship. So I think when you talk about relationships, you really need to know a person's history. Let me just say this, and I'm not talking about counts and all that other kind of stuff. I'm just saying, if you've had relationships and they went left, why? And if you can't articulate your part in the going left, because it takes two, then Houston, we have a problem.
Well, all right. And there you have it. Houston had.
What in the?
She's from Texas. She's from Texas.
Yeah, Houston have a problem. Okay. I got you.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I do see that her point of view on that.
But that leads to what Pastor Chris was saying too about you knowing you having to take the time for you, because like I said, if you don't, your perspective is always going to be wrong. And again, I feel like you're going to be looking for those things, and it may not be intentional, but you're going to be looking for whatever satisfies you in that moment until the thrill is gone. Once you satisfy that level, because you're realizing that I want something deeper, like this is not enough. The flesh has an insatiable appetite. It just never is satisfied. It is all.
No, go
ahead.
I think also, like she said, insecurities. I think that is one aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people can be secure but be immature. Some people can be secure but yet been raised a certain way and but be insecure within it. So it could be insecurity, or it could be secure, but maturity. And this pastor, not pastor, but coach was saying, when it comes to like using the word baby, and Miss Sister Epps said, you have to know who you're talking to. You have to know who you're dealing with. That comes with insecurity, someone who's immature or mature, someone that's raised in a certain environment, around certain people, or how their parents raised them, or aunts or uncles. All these things shape a person who you're being with.
Mhm.
And I think that's what she said. I think that's a big foundation, is who are you dealing with? Are you dealing? And then you, as Pastor was saying, knowing yourself, you also got to deal with yourself. How was you raised? What did you learn, the things that you is input in this relationship? Who taught you? Where did you read that from? You see what I'm saying? So all these things also, as Pastor was saying, as far as knowing yourself, because that's important.
Right. I
Yeah.
agree with that. And the other thing I want to say is sometimes too, you have to be real about who you are, because everybody can't handle you.
Right.
So I know me.
Isn't that the God I was
And there are just some situations I'm like, yeah, no, bro, this ain't gonna work. Appreciate you. But this one, next one, 15 coming. It's not gonna work, because you have to know who you are. And if you know who you are, then you will know by the way they move, by the things they say. If you can tell me what to do, then tell me what to do.
Come on, Jill.
But
Come on.
if you can't tell me what to do,
You cannot
tell me what to do.
what to do. You can't even tell yourself what to do.
Right.
What?
Don't respond to that, right here. Don't respond to that.
Yes. Y'all was bringing
Save
those.
yourself. That's a save yourself. That's a save
That's to save yourself. I was about to respond.
No, don't.
No,
respond.
please respond. Please
No,
respond. This is valid.
hey, I'm
Respond.
telling you, save yourself,
your
bro.
chest and your whole back. Okay, save
trying.
your chest.
Don't respond. Respond.
I'm not gonna let him go out like that. Save yourself. Believe me when I tell you.
Look, we say what
That's
this
what I'm saying, but that's me. That's how I operate. Like I know what I need. I know what I need.
right.
And
And
it
you
ain't
know
gonna
what?
do me. It's not gonna do me no good. It's not gonna serve him any good. It's like nobody's gonna get any justice if you don't check the proper boxes. If you can't tell me what to do, bro.
But see that I think that's what throws it off when he say, I think a man, like I think Pastor Chris and Coach was dealing with this also. It takes a certain man and the perspective where they're coming from. Like you said, yes, I could not tell you what to do, because you know why? I haven't took the time to get to know you, to check those boxes. So yes, I couldn't tell you what to do. But if I knew you and know how to come at you and got to know you, oh yes, I can definitely tell you what to do. It's just that I'm not going. It's just the way I'm bringing it. I'm not going to come in a way that'll push you away from me. I'm gonna come in a way that bring you close to me, and once you close to me, yeah, I can tell you what to do. Because I took the time to get to know you. I know what buttons to push. And
So let me go here. Let me.
Wait a minute, this Coach Clay want to kill me right now. I'm sorry. I can't. Coach is like, yo, I've been trying. Thank you. Don't cross that line. And he said, look, he just said, I told him. Right. He said, he warned you. Ace Perspective said, come on, Team Sisters. And Ace said, don't save it. You did. You tried to save him. You did. You tried to save him. You did. But I just think that, I'm sorry, I think that it's so key, when Pastor Chris said that. And that's how I wanted him to elaborate, because people don't always fully understand what that means. And it is so important, like he said, that you do take that time. No one is negating that. Like you said, if you've gone your whole life and you get into your adult life, no one wants to keep repeating the same things. No one wants to stay in cycles of brokenness and toxicity. And I shouldn't really, well, no, I will stand out and say no one, even people who this is what you have become accustomed to, it's still not what you really want. No one really wants to. We become accustomed and desensitized and don't want to do the work to get healthy because somewhere along the line, we don't believe that we can do it, or that we are worth it, or that there's not enough of us, left. There's not enough good in me. So we just continue to settle for these toxic, unhealthy situations. So again, I think it was very important, and I really appreciate you elaborating more, Pastor Chris, so that people could understand what that really means about you learning you. You taking the time for you. And sometimes, yes, you have to pause to do that. He'll be back. His internet is probably acting up. But it's important that you take that time to pause and do what you need to do so that you can be 10 toes down in who you are. So that going forward, you don't make the same mistakes. That going forward, you don't repeat behaviors. You don't have to. We all have experiences from our past. Now, some things we have to unlearn. There's some things that I learned in my household that are not applicable to me in my life now. Why? Because I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an adult now. So I don't need to keep carrying on some of the rules my mom and my dad, taught me. I don't need to repeat what I saw in my household between my mother and my father in my relationships. I have to unlearn those behaviors and be willing to learn something new. And we do that by taking that time. So thank you again, Pastor Chris. That was really, really good. A really good point. Where do we want to go next? Anitra says self-accountability. Yes. And all of this is a part of can a cheater change? Because some of these things, as Coach Claiborne mentioned last week or last time, all cheating is not equal. And he focused on one of the main things that Coach was focusing on was you have to get to the root of why a person is cheating. What pushes them to that place? What got you here? Some people, that's all you saw growing up. You never saw a stable relationship. So you're repeating what you have seen. You never saw, your understanding of respect of a woman or respect of a man. It could be that you have a ongoing cycle of men and women, because our understandings are distorted by what we've experienced a lot of times. But there comes a point in time where we have to. There comes a point in time, I got to say this. Okay, I see you, PC, and I think, Coach, you want to share something too. There comes a point in time where we have to make the decision for ourselves if we are repeating the history that we've seen, or are we going to start writing our own story? You don't have to repeat what you've seen. There's an opportunity for change in all of us. So go ahead, PC, and then Coach, you come behind him.
I'm about to start some trouble again. Um,
Okay.
there's this comment that kept going around, and I kept hearing it, and I didn't want to make a big deal out of it because you guys are already getting on Vine Eric, but I got to redeem my brother here because I keep hearing this from multitudes of different kinds of women, from upscale women to the medium scale women to whatever scale, whatever 6 digit, 3 digit, whatever digit you are. I keep hearing this, and I'm sick of hearing it. So, why is it always a flesh thing when it comes to a man? Always a flesh thing when it comes to us. Can a man just want to discover who he is without having a side piece? Can a man just want to be in touch with his emotions without having a third party? Why does it always have to be somebody else in the mix? That stigma gets on my nerves. I'm sorry to say it, but I hear it all the time. I have to put it out there because not all men are doing it. Some men are just really trying to get their crap together. And if you have a mind like that, then you need to assess yourself. That's all I wanted to say. I just had to say that.
Okay, and that's cool. We get it. All right. And I said it. I said the comment, so I'm going to respond to that. And anybody else can jump in if they want to. Now, when I said that the flesh is insatiable, it has an insatiable appetite, I was not alluding to the fact that it has to be always something sexual or a side piece or anything of that nature. The flesh is many things. Our appetite is many things. It's not just about you going from person to person in that your sexual appetite there's many things when it comes to the flesh. Our flesh is never satisfied. It's not. It wants many things. It wants food. Many things. Yes, it wants sex. Many things. It wants to be touched. Many things. What we have, our flesh is what is it? The lust of the eye. We see things that we want. I see this car. I have a car, but I see this car. It's never enough. It's always one upping, always looking for the next thing. So again, please don't take what I said out of the context in which I said it. It does not mean that, and it's not just towards men. The flesh is not gender specific. The flesh wanting what it wants is not gender specific. I speak from experience. My flesh wanted what it wanted when it wanted it. And yep, when I felt like I was in the mood and I had an itch and whatever it was that I needed, not an itch in a bad way, but when I was in the mood to do whatever it was that I felt like I wanted to do, it was very hard to arrest my flesh because it wanted what it wanted in that time. And when you get it, then it wants more of it. So when I'm saying that it's never satisfied is that a lot of times we are looking to continue to feed whatever our need is. And sometimes it's the excitement of a moment that we, like when you go to the amusement park. It's the thrill of the roller coaster. You go from ride to ride to ride. Why? Because this ride gets your adrenaline going. This gets you excited. This gets your blood pumping, and you enjoy the moment. And then you want to find the next thrill. If you don't know what it is that you want, we will tend to go seeking after different things to see what it is that's going to satisfy our appetite. So again, the statement of the flesh is not just directed to a sexual thing. Yes, men can just do like women do. Men can just want to get themselves together. Men can absolutely just want to get your mind right for you. If you're in a situation where somebody is pitting you against or thinking of you that way, then maybe that's not the right situation for you. Because if you constantly have to defend yourself or they're accusing you of that, then that's a conversation that needs to be had because that can be that person's insecurity. If they know you well enough, they'll know that you're saying, I just need time for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. But even in that, you wanting to take time for you, your flesh is speaking, there's something in you that's looking to be satisfied and you're trying to figure out what that is. So I don't know how other people mean it, but I'm not saying it in this sense of being accusatory of always having to have a side chick and the flavor of the month or, the taste of the hour. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying all of us have an appetite that looks to be satisfied. I hope that helped explain. Come on, Coach. Or PC, did you want to say something? I'm sorry, I can't really tell.
Here is the thing. When you made the statement that I made last week, and I want to dive into it because it really is the crust of the whole thing. The reason why I say what I said is the root of it. Anything that we deal with, there is a root. There is a root to it. But I've never heard anyone, Lady Dawn, Arisha, Pastor Chris, I never heard anyone in a relationship ask this question and really mean it. Even the women the women that are so upset, like, why did you cheat on me? What did I do? Was I not good enough? You don't really want to know the answer. Because if you wanted to know the answer and he told you the answer, could you really handle the answer? Same way with men. Men can't handle a woman cheating. A woman cheating on a man one time is over for her, no matter what her reasoning is. Even if she gave him, like I know a situation where she gave the man a whole bunch of times, and then when she cheated, he put her out. And I said to him, I was like, whoa, wait, time out. She gave you a lot of grace, and I don't want to be Bible, but Prophet Recent, there is a story where the one man has a debt, and his debt is forgiven. Then when it came to him and it was owed to him, he wanted to kill the young man. So the king said, wait. How is it that you got grace, but you don't want to extend grace? So when I say get to the root of it, I mean from both people, the person who's cheated and the person who was offended or who cheated on. I think that we have to have the tough conversation, because something you said, Lady Dawn, it could be DNA. What do you mean DNA? My father was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. There are people. Let me say it this way. One of the prayers, and I think y'all heard me pray this, but one of the prayers that I pray for my children and my children's children is to break a curse. There are several curses I'm trying to break. One of the curses that I'm trying to break is this. My mother never married my father. I never married their mother. And the two daughters that have babies, they're not married to their baby's father. That's 3 generations of babies born out of wedlock. That's 3 generations. Here's another DNA. My natural father and my spiritual father were both Rolling Stones. It never seemed like many years ago when I was a young man that was a problem. It didn't seem like it was an issue. I came from this perspective. I'm just a man. And as a man, I like women. That was my mindset. Because if my mother has no husband and she has no father, I don't see how relationships are supposed to be. What I learned from relationships, I learned from the street. Because I don't see a healthy relationship. In that situation, I go to church, and while my grandmother and my aunts and them were married, but they were controlling the husbands. So I don't see that. So when you talk about that consistent flowing, and when you have access, when you have opportunities, when you have options, that's the word. When you have options, if you are a 19-year-old, so when you get out of college and playing pro ball, Pastor Chris, what, you 21, 22, let's say about 22 years old. If you did 4 years in college, you 22 years old, Pastor Chris. You just signed a contract for $10 million. You're 22 years old. It's coming from everywhere. You play ball in every city and every state of the United States. You play ball in. But the girl back home that liked you in college liked you in high school doesn't understand that here is an access. Here is a full of option. She doesn't get to the root of the fact that this guy may not be this person. He may not wind up being this person. Why are you there? And in his defense, he could simply say, it's a smorgasbord. It's not what I wanted to do, but I'm 22 years old. It's a smorgasbord, and here I am. Now, y'all may say, okay, that's no excuse. We're not talking about excuses. We're talking about reasons. Cheating is never excuse. I'm not getting it's wrong all the way around. But what is the reason? It's wrong. I want everyone to know on Lady Dawn's show, it is absolutely wrong. But what is the reason? Here you are, a beautiful woman, and every time I heard a young comedian say this, young woman said this, and y'all ladies can agree with me or not agree with me. They said that a woman or a girl has been getting hit on ever since she had her period. Ever since she was 9 or 11 years old, she has gotten hit on. I said, what? They said every time a young girl, and y'all can agree on this, walk out the door, somebody is either looking at her, smiling at her, whispering at her, speaking to her. And I asked my daughters, they said, Dad, one of my daughters said ever since she was 9 years old, somebody at the store, somebody was like, you cute, somebody was like you. There was always something. So Risha, if you make it to 40 or 50 years old, you've been getting hit on since you, let's say 11. That's a lot of years for you as a woman to hear somebody say you're beautiful. Then you go home and you married to a guy who you say can't tell you what to do. That one right there, him, he doesn't recognize her eye color change. He doesn't recognize her hair color change, her style change. He sees you every day, Risha, Lady Dawn. He doesn't recognize my baby done lost some pounds. He don't see none of that. But you go to work, here's a reason. And the guy that you see every now and then gets in the elevator and says, that's a new perfume you got on. You're like, what? Your nails are beautiful. Like, what? I saw you change your hair a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to speak to you. Now, here is this that you wasn't getting home. I'm not saying cheating is right. I'm saying, Lady Dawn, a statement that no one likes. What is the root of it? And both people, the person that doesn't need to find out what makes me go there. What is it about? What is it? What's the reason? Not the excuse. What's the reason? And I think when people hear these conversations, they think that we're making excuses. They think that we're not talking about excuses. I'm talking about what's the reason. There is a reason for a person to get there. I don't believe that everybody has a salacious appetite. I believe and know that I'll say it until I die, all cheating is not equal. There is reasons for people to go where they go. If you tell you looking fine all this time, but every time I touch you, you don't want me to touch you. You walk out the door smelling good, but then you come home and give me chicken grease on your slippers, and you got on a headscarf. You like my boy Jamal said was so funny. He said during the daytime you look like Imani, but at night you look like Harriet Tubman. Why I got to get the headscarf of Harriet Tubman all the time? I know sometimes, because I'm a hairstylist, I'm into fashion. I know sometimes you got to put on a bonnet. You want to keep your hair for the next day. But is there some day that you like, you know what? I ain't putting this scarf on. I'm giving them all this hair. Is there some day can you go to sleep with the hair on my arm? Can we get some of that? Do you got to wrap it up? Oh, okay. I got that. That was personal. I just do it every time. I think my pressure just went up.
I need you to bring it down. Breathe. I need you to bring it down.
You got to give the job and the boss the fine Lady Dawn. And then I got to come home and you done took off all your makeup. I done come home. You done took off all the, you done shot. I don't get no smell good. I don't get no nothing. And you want me to do I get any other side? Do you ever reach over into the car and rub the back of my, oh, Pastor Chris, I just got excited. The back of my head at any time. But then you wonder why I'm here. I'm here because either some things I need to deal with me, and can you walk with me through that? Lord, I'm saying something really good. If I told you what's my reasons for where I was, are you woman enough that the woman that I can tell what to do, that woman, are you woman enough? Watch this, Lady Dawn. I'm gonna plug this. Is your life safe? Is your lap safe enough? Is your lap safe enough?
Come on, plug it.
That I can pour. Because see, I say it all the time. Her lap is his safe place. Is your lap safe enough that I can share with you my reasonings for the things in my past. Can you walk me through it? Would you date me? Would you marry me if I told you I cheated in my past, but I want to be better? Could you walk with me through that? Or would you still look at me from a crazy perspective? That's all I want to know. Is your lap safe enough, strong enough to catch my tears? No, soft enough to catch my tears, but strong enough to keep my secrets. That's what I am. I just want to know, Lady Dawn, it's a reason behind everything.
That's good, Coach. That's good. But in what you said, I think it also goes back to the question Von Eric asked when I was referring to balance. Like you just said, why does the job get the best of you, but when you come home, you get the bonnet version of me? When we're talking about, from man to woman, woman to man, it all goes back to the balance is what I'm talking about of making sure that you're not giving your all and your best to the outside things instead of to the person that's walking beside you or trying to walk beside you. And as you're saying, is your lap a safe enough place to hold my tears, but strong enough to keep my secrets? Well, that woman that says that if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. I can't speak for every woman. I can only speak for me. And for me, that would be a yes, because that is for me at this big age and where I am in life, I know what I've done. I know my stuff. I know the things that I need to be forgiven of. And I will come into a situation and I will gladly tell you all my business if you want to know. And I will tell it to you unashamedly and unapologetically. I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not. I'm not trying to hide anything, cover anything, because whatever I did is in my past. And if I tell you and you weaponize it and use it against me, or hold me hostage to it, then then that lets me know that no. In return, are you a safe place? Are we a safe place for each other? I can make my lap as soft as you need it to be, and I can also make it as strong as it needs to be. If I didn't believe and know that I had the capacity to manage what you are dealing with or your past, I would not even link up and agree to be in connection with you or in partnership with you. A lot of us are not in that space, and I understand that. Again, I can only speak for me at this age.
Sometimes
it goes both ways.
Sometimes people say that.
Yeah.
Until they in it.
Right. But okay, and that's true. That is true. Because I was going to
when they in it.
Some people say it until you're in it. But this is where the commitment to the person and in partnership comes into play. And a lot of times, a lot of us are not used to being with people we've been dropped so many times that when you do get with someone who is trying to work with you or trying to be that space for you or trying to show you, because there's a capacity in relationship that we grow together. We're growing together day by day. I won't know how much of your weight that I can carry. Okay, when you start lifting weights, you don't start out at 400 pounds the first day. You might start out at 35. And you have to build that up. You might be at 35 for a whole week, right? And then the next week you might add 15 more. Okay, so now we're at 50. All right. And it increases as we are meeting these pivotal points in our lives and in our journey. We have to grow and stretch with each other, and we increase our capacity. I think it's a matter of being willing to try and being willing to trust.
But
go ahead. Go ahead, Rish.
On to your, with the point you're saying about weightlifting, it's a journey that we take together. Because while I'm lifting, he should be spotting.
Right.
While I'm lifting, he should be spotting. I find a lot of times in relationships, you have somebody.
Why he's spotting you?
Telling
you what to do while he's spotting you. How to
listen? If he can, he can. Let me go on and address
Tell her what to do.
Let me go ahead and address that, because it is what it is. There is something. This is me. Now, this is me. There is something about a man when he walks in the room and can command the space and shift the atmosphere for me. it does something to me. And it's not even about me. I can tell when you speak to other people, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself. He's presenting himself as a man's man. That's me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest, it do a little something for me.
There you go.
I get a little excited about
there
that.
You go.
And it's on say. It has nothing to do with his stature,
right?
But it's how he carries himself, how he walks in,
so he
and his presence demands a certain thing. Like I can smell his masculinity.
Exactly. There you go. See, this is
tell me what to do.
Exactly. That's what I was pointing at. And that man.
But everybody doesn't have that. And all I'm saying,
I didn't say every man.
Yeah, I'm saying for me.
No. I said the man. I said I will be the man that checked the boxes, as you said, right? Mm-hmm. And then as you pointed out, I'm not talking about a man who's just staying still in his masculinity, who betray or thinks since he know he should deserve to tell a woman what to do. No, right. I'm talking about the man that you saying who got to know you, who understands you, who adores you. Ain't afraid to get on his knees and rub your feet or wipe your feet. Things like that actually, when you talk to him, he actually listens and understood and show you he understood. That type of man.
And we go back to Pastor Chris. That's because he knows who he is.
He is. Right. See, that's why I said that man tells you what to do because he deserved to tell you what to do. Because he knows himself and he is strong not only within his spirit, but within his alpha male masculinity. He balances like balancing it.
It's confidence.
And I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. But there's also those who don't necessarily come in with that kind of raw, that kind of presence. And I'm saying for me, if that ain't how you present, yeah, that's not gonna work for me because my mind, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
That's true.
I'm just gonna be real honest.
And then that type of man doesn't deserve you. He wouldn't be able to stay with you. And it could be, and that's on both ways.
Right.
That's on both ways, not just on his way, but that.
But that's what I'm saying. But knowing me, I wouldn't even engage it.
Right.
Like we cool, bro. What's up?
We could be friends. That's right.
Right.
Just not
hang if you can hang. But
right.
Yeah, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
That's why I said that man deserves it.
And I look good in my bonnet. I just want to say, when I just I'm just saying.
And I would take you to the
wait, Rod. No,
I just want to say that. I've been complimented on my bonnet.
No.
Here's the thing. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing.
And I don't own a bonnet. I don't even own a bonnet. I've never bought a bonnet. I don't know. You get what you get. I have team natural all day, every day. No, I am team natural all day, every day, from sunrise to sunset.
Here's the thing, Risha, and they are some pretty bonnets. I used to sell them, so they are. However,
I have a headscarf.
From a man perspective,
this was from a man. Just saying, that wasn't me to my own horn, although I could too. That was from a man.
He didn't know no better.
He knew well.
He in the wrong group. I'm telling you, there is nothing like a woman with her hair out on a man going that. I ain't saying every day, but I promise you.
I mean, it's happened, but all I'm saying is when I put my bonnet on,
all the bonnets are cute.
Saying, and the satin that comes along with it. Oh, when I do my bonnet, I do my bonnet. Let me say this because it's not a bonnet; it's a headscarf. I tie my.
It's a headscarf. Oh, okay.
Well, we're gonna do another show called when bonnets are sexy. That's what we're
gonna do that show.
Sexy bonnet, okay? That's what the lady doing after dark show when the body was with sexy.
That one we gonna make to that late. That's a later show.
That's a late night. That might have to be at 10 o'clock. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a later show.
One of the questions in there is gonna have to be when the bonnet comes off. Okay.
That one.
Pastor Chris says the power is in the bonnet. Yes. Pastor Chris also said it depends, Coach. Is it real or fake?
But I see what Pastor's telling. I think he is saying that when you wear it's nothing wrong wearing a bonnet. It's just that you may wear the bonnet too much. Come on, just take it off and bring that hair out and put that hair on my shoulder. Or put that
on my shoulder.
Let's not overdo the bonnet and let the bonnet control you.
Want the hair.
You control the bonnet.
I do. So let me just go have a transparent moment here.
Now,
we want the hair.
Wait, hold on. I just want to pause and say it is 8:30 and we have gone left. Okay. So it is now welcome to
sheets and pillows.
Anything happening in here now. Come on, tell your bonnet story. And again, I don't have a bonnet. I might need to get one. I don't know. That's a lot.
It stay tied because
I ain't mad at you.
But here is the thing: if your sheets are sad, I don't have no problem.
Wait a minute. Hold up. But Pastor is saying if my sheets is not satin.
First of all,
every now and again. So listen to what I'm saying to you. If your sheets are satin, the sheets are satin, I can sleep without a bonnet every night.
She's saying take the hint. Take the hint.
I'm gonna give you what you want.
Ain't nobody sliding all over the bed with your satin sheets.
I can only speak for my experience. It's baby, don't touch your hair. Baby, I like your hair long. Baby, I like it when you wrap your hair. Well, that requires work.
How about a satin pillow?
You gotta work on slipping on. If you hold on right, you be all right. Okay, hold on tight, you be all right. You got to
I would say this: if I pull out my satin sheets, I'm telling you right now, that
bonnet tonight. The bonnet is canceled.
The bonnet is canceled. If I
wait a minute. Hold up. Because it's not just about the bonnet, because you don't want to take off the bonnet and you got nappy head or the
you getting particular. Now you getting picky.
Oh, okay, but I just want to be clear. Well, you know what?
Be clear.
I'm gonna let Coach take because that was his thing.
He drinking water. He out.
The bonnet effect. Okay, the bonnet apparently affects is a setup to potential cheating. Okay, so we could tie it into the subject. All right. Okay. Don't wear your bonnets all the time, ladies, because your man gonna want to go
like chicken grease,
some natural hair. And you on the road to being a cheater because you done showed up with your bonnet too many nights. So don't do it 7 nights out of the week, okay? Maybe 3 out of 7. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the bonnet rule is. I don't have one. Maybe I need to buy one. I need to go to a bonnet class. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Girl, you funny.
See, Sister Epps brought up.
I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know nothing about no bonnets, okay? Those are the ponytails.
Wait a minute, hold up. Sister Epps brought up satin sheets. Coach,
yes.
Is this different prices in bonnets? Is it like okay? Now, since she brought up satin sheets, shouldn't she wear a certain bonnet for before we point out because if she wearing
he didn't want me to okay, so satin bonnet on satin sheets, somebody shooting off the bed.
If she got a cheap bonnet, that shows a lot then.
It's not cheap, and she does. I can't speak for everybody else.
How did we even got here? How did we get here?
I'm just saying. He does. He likes all the things. Very nice. Very demure.
Did you get the mirror?
Good evening, everyone. This is Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Zombie. I don't know what has happened just now. Well, welcome to part 2 of Can Cheaters Really Change? Apparently, they can as long as there's no bonnets involved in exchange. Okay? This is what I've learned. I'm getting ready to take some notes myself. I don't know where we at. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's after 8:30, so it's don't be after dark. Anything is possible. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is an awesome way to kick off December. I don't know what the rest of the month is gonna bring. Mighty God. I'm like, okay, I'm not mad at it, y'all. I'm not mad. I just, oh, Jesus.
Look.
Maybe we needed some comic relief, some reprieve in the conversation. But we are talking about, can cheaters really change? Okay, so I remember now. Coach was talking about coming home, not to the bonnet all the time, not giving your best self to the job and outside entities all the time, and giving me what's left over. I made mention of recapping my earlier comment about being balanced, making sure that you are giving equal effort and attention to your outside things as well as your inner relationship. And so now we're seeing some of the nuances, the root of why we need to make sure that we are balanced in providing that, because these things can lead to cheating, because no man wants to come home every night to see you in your what are those things, what are them slippers that they wear? I can't stand them myself. I don't even know what the yeah, the Crocs and the bonnet.
Crocs and bonnet.
Right, nobody wants to see that all the time. Thank you, because I couldn't think of what that was. Ladies, the men are making a request. Okay, so ladies, please take note. All right, they're telling you what they would like and what they don't like. Okay, because apparently bonnets and Crocs will be at the root of the matter as to why cheating take place. Why your man is looking at the lady in the elevator who is dressed properly and well put together because you met him at the door with your Crocs and your bonnet on all week long.
Like chicken grease.
Right. Cover with the chicken grease on your slipper. Let's not do that. Okay? Let's not do that. Come on, PC. I see you.
If I've been trying to get this in. Now, since my stand in Texas, because I'm an East Coast boy, right? I went to Texas for a good while. And I didn't understand the culture of the bonnet at first. I didn't get it. I'm like, why are you wearing that thing on your head? Because I didn't get it. Well, if you are accustomed to the environment of Texas, Texas can be very bad on your hair. And Risha can attest to this. And this is why most women wear the silk bonnets, not the cheap dollar store ones. They wear the good ones because the sun will fry their new do up like it's eggs because it's crazy hot and sometimes it's humid or dry, depending on the day. It could be summer in 2 hours and winter in three. Texas is bipolar by the minute, just saying. But anyway, I'm defending the bonnet because I never was like, what is this? I was really into the natural hair stuff. And when I learned there was a different culture, now for the first couple of years, I'm like, you got all that hair under that weave. Why are you wearing weave on top of hair? You have hair that goes up. Why? Well, I don't feel like doing it. It's too hot. Well, that was the first problem right there. When you get the reaction of Shaquita, that was a strike one right there. But of course, we don't listen. But anyway, when you when you are in an environment like that, now I understand and get it. So as you get older, and as Coach said, as he knows that profession as well, so he knows I'm telling the truth with that because I'm quite sure there's a lot of women that come in there with damaged hair because of their environment. So that's why they wear certain things on their head. Now, if you have silk sheets and all that stuff, it is a plus. But a lot of men may not be able to afford your silk grade, ladies. So I get why you wear your silk bonnets. I get it because all of us ain't at that scale yet. I'm just saying. But I get it. Now they do have the cheap silk, but you're still going to wear the bonnet anyway because it's not going to really do it for your hair the next morning. But anyway, I just want to throw all of that in there so I kind of understand the cold crock with bonnet thing when I lived in Texas, and now I'm back home. So now I'm getting readjusted to all this new stuff that's going on. So anyway, I'm done. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Pastor Chris, for giving us some demographic understanding of this bonnet crop culture that is apparently part of the root cause of cheating. The cheating will change when you change your bonnet, when you exchange your bonnet for silk satin sheets. That's what happened. Pastor Chris, Pastor Claymore says we have no problem with it, just don't wear it all the time. Right. And I get that. Okay, so seriously, getting kind of looping back into our point of can a cheater change? To answer the question, well, yes, anyone can change. We're talking about some of the root causes as to what can cause a person to go out and cheat. So in us joking about it, but it is a very real thing because, presentation matters. Cheryl Green. Hey, Cheryl, I didn't see you in there. Welcome, girl. How are you? She says, thank you, Bishop. Thank you. She appreciates your comment. In us making sure that we are showing up in the serious side of it is, again, making sure that we show up for our partners in a way that lets them know that we are still present, that we are here. Making sure we show up for our partners in a way that they know that we are not giving you the last of us or what's left over. Making sure that we show up for our partners in a way that we are making our efforts known in the relationship and not just taking them for granted, because that's something that happens also, I believe, that can lead a person to a position to cheat. Because when you feel like you are being taken for granted, you will look for that those words of affirmation. You will look for that acceptance and that approval in other places. That's how, as Coach said, the simplest comment of, hey, is that a new perfume or cologne you're wearing? That's how because that comment, if you haven't heard it from the person that you are in relationship with, that will awaken something in you, and you'll start looking at that person in a different way, because now you're seeing that they're looking at you. They're giving you the attention that you want from the person you're with, but the person you're with isn't giving.
But they say, well, why don't you say something to me? Why should I have to tell you how to pay attention to me?
Right.
If I'm yours, why are you not paying attention to me? Then if I bring it up, because I've been in this space, when you're a confident person, sometimes it can be real sticky. When you're a confident person and you love on you, that can be a big issue. Because I remember asking certain women in my life, how come you don't ooze all over me like I do you? Like, I'm always saying to my woman, you're fine. I can just look at you and be like, you're so beautiful. I can look at you and be like, you're amazing. I'm always that way. If you're mine, I don't get with you unless I can see you that way. First of all, let me. If I can't see you that way, if you don't turn my head, I'm watching TV and you walk by me and I don't go, good God, woman, I'm trying to watch this game and you playing around. If you don't do that for me, I'm not getting with you. If I don't look at you just out of nowhere and be like, you're so beautiful. Being with me, you probably gonna hear that several times a day. And it's not just fake. I'm not gonna get with you if I don't find you attractive. However, while I know that I'm fine, Risha, while I know I'm fine, I would like to hear my woman say that to me. Say to me, boy.
You need her to echo what your thoughts.
I already know.
Right.
I want her.
I need you to do what I know.
Alone, do something for you. because I need to put that on. Which cologne is gonna make you go, good God Almighty? Like, why don't you say, man, that outfit, that suit? But when I tell you that there are a very small number, and because you know what, my ex-wife said this to me. Why should I tell you something that you tell yourself all the time? I said, what does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense to say, what? Yes, every time I get in the mirror, I'll be like, boy, you is fine, sir. And the older you get, the better you look. I mean, good God Almighty, But that doesn't stop you from. Why are you with me if I don't turn you on?
You better love on you, sir.
Why are you with me if I don't do something? And so now you mad because this sister said your husband is so sharp today. Now you got a whole attitude when you should be able to say he sure is. He sure that what because that should move you. I shouldn't have to have a reason that I'm out here because I'm thirsty from being home. There's a famine in the land and it ain't for food. There's a famine in the land and it ain't for the word of God. There's a famine in the land and it is because of compliments, adoration, and love that people are not getting on both sides. That's what the famine, that's the real famine that's going on. And if it wasn't, we wouldn't have 65%, 75% of divorces that are going on in our community. We would not have a conversation of can cheater. People wouldn't cheat if in those areas. I'm not saying that there's not a group of salacious appetite. There is a group of that. But there's a lot of group where people's reasonings would not be there and we would tap into the reason. And something, what I would consider simple, others don't. That you cannot compliment your man. You cannot compliment your woman. You cannot. I often say to a woman that come in my life, what you will not be is hungry for compliments. What you will not be is hungry for appreciation. I say thank you all the time. I never take my woman for. I don't care if you brought me a soda. Thank you. If you cook a meal, I'm coming behind you in the kitchen and be like, baby, thank you that you even slaving. Like I'm going to always I'm never going to take that for granted. You're not going to be hungry of presents because I'm going to do for you and give to you. Why do you let your spouse go out that door uncovered? And what do you mean, man to God? He's uncovered. She's uncovered because you left them hungry and they went out the door hungry. That's what I say. We got to get to the place of that. The mere fact is that Lady Dawn should never be hungry in that area. Pastor Chris, Risha, Bon, Eric, you should never leave your relationship, walk out your door of your marriage hungry. If that person walks out the door hungry, it is a strong possibility that they're going to get fed somewhere else. I'm going to say like Pastor Chris, I ain't got no microphones. They might not like me, but I came to tell them the truth, whether they like it or not. Thank you, Pastor.
He dropped the mic for you. He did it for you. But that's a good point, and again, it speaks to us. And I don't know why that word, balance just keeps coming up for me tonight. I don't know how other people are hearing and receiving it. Like I said, when we get down to the reasons thereof, we have to put the work in on both sides. And I think I want to kind of go back a little bit to the point of, because Bishop does have a book called Her Lap, His Safe Place, which if you don't have it, please go get it. Actually, we're going to have Bishop come back and talk about that book again and The Huddle, because they are great reads, I promise you. And really take our time to walk through them because they are helpful to us as we are building ourselves up so that we can show up better in relationships. But when you're talking about like we should never leave hungry, and about can our laps be soft enough to hold your tears and strong enough to hold your secrets, there has to be a place and a point in time where you are trusting enough to take that risk to open up. You have to trust something. Like I can't fight you. And when I say I'm just saying, just talking. You can't fight a person when it comes to trust. And it's a struggle. We all know that we struggle to trust people with different things. We all struggle with trusting. If we're going to be better at these at relationships, and if we're going to be better, every relationship is risky. Nobody knows what the next day is going to bring. Period. But if we made it through this day, I believe that every day when you get up, you choose to love someone. You make a choice. Today, regardless as to how I feel, if I'm with you, I'm choosing to love you, which means that I don't know what's going to happen in your world and I don't know what's going to happen in mine. But what I do know is I'm not going to let you go through it alone. So that is me making an effort to make my lap available, number one, soft enough, number two, that if it's a day you need to cry, that you can do so in my lap, because I wouldn't want you to go nowhere else. I don't want my man going to some other woman to share with her whatever. Boy, if you don't bring yourself home, what are you kidding me? Just as a woman, you get arrogant like that. Like, because this should be the space where you should be able to release and to share whatever it is safely. You should not have to go anywhere. You should not have to talk to anyone else. You should not have to. But if you are feeling apprehensive about it, I think in one space, you have to also learn to put, and this may be the wrong word, so forgive me if it is, but put your pride down the same way I'm putting my fears down. We have to meet in the middle. I can only show you how much you can trust me if you allow me to show you how much you can trust me. Can you meet me halfway? I don't know. We in the same space together, bro. Like, can we walk this out together? You won't know that my lap is safe enough for you to cry on if you never shed a tear in it. And you won't know the weight of my lap to hold you, because it's a muscle that has to be worked out. We know, listen, I know you come with a lot of stuff. Okay. But I'm saying to you, like, I got you. I'm willing to try. I'm willing to, and if I don't get it right the first time, I'm not going to leave you. Even if you get dropped for some reason, I'm not going to leave you on the floor. I'm going to help you up. I'm going to give you some stitches to help if you have a wound, because help to stitch up whatever might be broken. I'm just saying. But when we create these spaces, this is the things that help us to avoid falling into these traps of attention, getting attention and security outside of the relationship that we're trying to build. We cannot do it alone. No man is an island. Like, we need each other. But I don't feel that I'm with everyone else. Cheating is never acceptable. It is not okay. And again, none of us are saying that it is, but I just think that point that you like, that's sticking with me about, her lap, his safe place. And that statement is really, really strong. Like, but I think also, again, that men, you have to be willing, like, to open up to a woman, to allow her to be that to you. It's risky on both sides. It's scary on both sides. But if I'm willing to rock it out with you, to hang in there with you, to like, okay, I don't know what this is going to look like, but all right, let's see. And when we get to a point where I don't know if I can handle, we have to pause and talk. Let's talk about it. So that if I'm at my capacity, at least we can exit properly. And it doesn't have to be in this cheating type of a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Sister Epps. You got something to say? I'm sorry, I didn't want to talk out of turn. Go ahead. Okay. Now, mine was a form of a question, because what Coach said was very interesting when he said that I think his wife. Tell me if I'm wrong, Coach. That your wife said that you spend too much time. Because you spend too much time upping yourself. I think You using the word? You used the word, another word though.
She said, "Why should I tell you
When
when
you
you already tell
always tell,
yourself?"
and then you put it as a form because she did not feed you what you feed her intimately, not just in physically but emotionally. But I would like the woman to expound on this because why would a woman say that? Why it's like it's she said because I'm sure that men know this and women say this. Like if a man spend a lot of time in front of the mirror, then that's not the man for me. So is why did she respond in that way?
So some women are they're just not, and I don't know exactly why, but they're just not that complimentary type.
Uh-huh.
They are, I call it touchy feely. They're not that we go back to knowing who you're with. That's not their love language. That's not how they operate. They didn't grow up in that kind of environment. They it and usually you can tell because when you give them compliments, they either respond bashfully
Mm-hmm.
or in a shy type way. They kind of withdraw instead of feeding into what you're saying and then regurgitating what you're saying back to you. Like, baby, you look good. Well, you look good too. I used to tell them, I only look as good as who I'm with.
Right.
So as long as you look good, I'm looking good, and vice versa. But if that's not how you operate, if that's not what you were taught, and I still go back to also there's some self-confidence issues with that too. If you don't have the wherewithal to compliment yourself,
Mm-hmm.
if there's some things about you that cause you some trepidation or say some stressful thinking and how you maneuver in a relationship, then it's going to be difficult to extend to somebody else what you can't extend to yourself.
Right. Okay. So, Pastor, was she always like that from the beginning? Did she give you intimate comments and stopped? And did she stop, or was she always like that?
No, I run and I am a very confident guy. I'm a fashion guy. I love on me. So I've run into that a lot. So it's not even just her. She just happened to be
Uh,
the latter of the
okay.
last. But I always run into that. And my question to them is,
Mm-hmm.
why? What you saying about yourself? Now, I mean, every now and then you might say, and it's like a struggle, Risha. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you look good today. Like for me to
Mm-hmm.
compliment my woman, it's not a struggle for me.
Mm-hmm. But
It's
did
not.
she
And
compliment you?
while I love your response,
Mm-hmm.
Risha,
Mm-hmm.
that still would bother me.
Oh, and it should, but I'm just saying, but
I
that's
love your response that I only look as good as the one that I'm with, and I love that. I think
period.
that is cute. I think that is playful. I think that is, I love it. But I also want without prompt, without prompt, you just say it. Like it's easy if I say, "Babe, do you love me?"
Mm-hmm.
And you answer, "Yes, I love you." Or if I say I love you, then you say I love you back. That's to me is not the same love as with you just telling me out of with no prompt. I didn't buy you nothing. I didn't say I love you for out of nowhere. You just called me in the middle of the day. Say I just want to tell you I love
So
you.
let
You
me
just
let me
so
clarify that
that's what
on
I
my
mean.
end.
And I like your response. Don't get me
Yeah, but
wrong.
so let me
But
but let
just
me let me clarify that with how I use when I say that, because I say it because I have three boys. So I said it to my boys. I said it to whom I was in a relationship with, but this was with me. I'm the kind of person when I go to the mall, I'm trying to figure out, and I'm going for me. It might be somewhere I'm going. I need to go pick up something, but the first place I'm going to stop is the men's section because that's just how I operate. I like my man to smell good. So when I come home and I got stuff for you and you like, baby, you didn't have to do this yet, but I only look as good. That's who I'm with. And you look good. So it's that. It wasn't that it was prompted, but I say that because I also need you to understand being a mother, a single mother of boys, that I need to instill a certain thing in you. So if it's a situation where you don't get it, it's
I see.
already within you.
But
But,
do you
but in my relationships, I'm the kind of, I'm gonna blow my man's head up. And I'm gonna be real honest. I like to go to the mall and my man looking good and everybody looking at him, because you can look but don't touch. He with me, he
Right.
mine. Don't it look good? Don't it smell good? Stare at him. Look at him. He's sexy, he fine, he all of that. Intelligent, he can articulate well, like all of the things. But it belongs to me.
But
So
do you
I'm
tell?
her, but that's not everybody.
But do you like Pastor said? Do you like if he dressed up? Do you say, "Damn"?
All the time.
Oh, you look damn, homie.
All the time.
Oh, okay.
And
He ain't even got to dress up. Just wake up.
Dress up. He
Okay.
can have on a wife. He
Wake
can be. I'm
Okay.
the kind of person when my man is washing the car or cutting the yard, and
Girl.
my thing, I'm sitting outside. You need something
Come
to
on.
sure look sexy with that sweat
Okay.
glistening, baby. Let me wipe your forehead for you. I'm her.
Say what now?
Okay.
I'm her. If you working,
Mhm.
and we both, when I was married, we
Mhm.
both had jobs. He got off at 11. He didn't warm up no food.
Mhm.
He came home from his 11 o'clock shift to a hot meal.
Right.
And I stayed up and did that, knowing I had to be up at 5 o'clock because I'm a nurse. The clinic opened up at 8. I had to be clocked in and in my space by 7:30 to make sure I was ready to receive my patients. But my man was not gonna lack. So here is the thing: when you decide to hit a hard left,
Right.
I'm gonna let you hit it,
Mhm.
because
Right.
my goal is to do all the things.
I got you. And okay, now I see. I was just wondering because, like Coach was saying, it was kind of interesting. It was interesting because, like he the type of person, like he said, he gives the compliments, and I can see what he's saying. Wait a minute, if I'm sharing this intimate, emotional, not just physical, but emotional, and I'm saying, well, shouldn't I deserve to get that back? And even if you think that I'm doing too much, it's because I love myself. What God created with me and in me. Why can't you share it and show me? And and I think sometimes, because I think it does it with men too. With men do it too. If they got like a trophy, they feel as though they shouldn't give that person a response because she looked good. Well, you look good. Everybody say you look good, and when we go out, you get all this compliment. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't give her any compliments
But
because she endure it and love it even more when you do it. What's going on outside of that? That's just come with the territory on how she looks. But
right.
your words means a lot to people, along with your heart and your understanding.
But if that's not how you, like, again, if that's not how you grew up, like, for instance, I use my middle son. Because I tell people, my children, that we're a little bit cocky, a little bit vain, because we like ourselves.
Right.
It is what it is. My baby would FaceTime me in class, and I'm like, is something wrong? He was like, no, I just want to show you what I just want to show you what you made. Don't I look good? Just in the middle, I'm like, boy, you supposed to be in class. What is your problem? Literally, that was all he would call to say, was to tell me he knew he looked good. And I would tell him, yes, baby, you do not need your grades to look like you look real good. So get off this phone and pay attention. But it was because I was the kind of, and I still am. I like to dress my man. Let me dress you. Let me do this. Let me do these things for you. I'm her. But if that's not, and so let me say this, my dad was a phenomenal dresser. And so that was the kind of relationship we had. He wooed me, which taught me how to woo back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I grew up in that.
Right.
On my dad's side of the family, it's like 14 boys, and then there's me.
Okay.
I'm the one. So it's all guys. So I came up in an environment where
that's what y'all did. Okay.
That's what we did. That's how we functioned. And it was just what it was. But everybody does, they don't grow up in that. They don't understand that. Their lives are different. It might have been a little difficult for them. It might have been a little hard. You might not have gotten hugs every day. People might not have told you they loved you. It might be that your dad was the kind that would, because he worked and provided and made sure you had everything, that was his love language. It wasn't necessarily him saying it to you. And so the words come difficult for you.
So, Coach, did you?
One
Did
second.
you?
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Just give me 1 second. I just want to impart just on a for a minute,
Okay.
and then you can jump right back. Don't lose your train of thought. Because I love everything that's being said, and just understanding that yes, it does take time if you're not used to it because you have not come out of that environment. Because I believe that's also one of the comments that Pastor Chris made. That it's not that easy, especially if you've never experienced it. And that's true. Love on any level, appreciation on any level is not that easy to open up to take risk on either side if you've never experienced it. But there has to be a first time for something. We didn't always know how to walk. We learned. You took the risk. You fell down. You got up. You're still walking. We're still here. Everything has to start somewhere, or we'll stay stuck, or you'll end up going back and repeating what you just come out of. And that's how you get into this cycle that does not yield anything. It doesn't, well, it yields something, but it doesn't yield the results that you want. So again, we have to give ourselves the chance to learn new experiences. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but I think you have to allow yourself the space to do so. Pastor Chris says, again, it's not that simple, right? And not saying that it is. No one said nothing is simple. I'm not diminishing the experience. It is not that simple because it's a lot to work through, and that's totally understandable. But no one ever said anything was going to be easy. Nothing in life is easy. I'm just saying we have to get to a point that if we want to progress, that we have to be willing to take the not easy, not simple journey to get to where we need to be or where you want to be. You can't keep beating yourself up in a cycle of what we did not get, or refusing yourself the new thing because you never had it and the old thing. There are different spaces that are uncomfortable, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Every space we've ever been in, the first day you go to a new job, it's uncomfortable. You don't know anything about the environment. I'm just saying, just as a practicum. But we take those steps to still show up for the job. And we take those steps to still go through the training, build up our stamina, build up our capacity, build up our knowledge. It's a one step at a time. It's not easy and it's not that simple. But if we don't do it, we will stay stuck and held captive to our past. So I just wanted to interject that right there really quick. And I also want to give Pastor Chris space to share. He does have to jump off and we'll be ending shortly. But I wanted to make sure that he has space to share his final thoughts and comments as well. We can't hear you, sir. PC, you're muted. Hold on. Let me.
All
Oh, there
right.
you
So,
go.
yeah. I am tired.
I think you're frozen now. Okay, he's still frozen. All right, we'll give him space to share his final comments. You
All
want to
right,
try?
here we go.
There you go.
I'm back. Yeah, I don't think that they think they're one. Um,
You're frozen again. They don't want him to be great on the internet tonight. That's what's happening. You must get ready to say something heavy in the room. Do you want to pop off and come back on? I'm not sure because you're frozen. Or if you can type it in the chat, I'm not sure. Okay, Vaughn, Eric, are you you can unmute your mic. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had to make sure it wasn't me. All right. He's gonna come back probably. In a moment. His internet is acting funny. But I'm sorry, I didn't want to necessarily cut you off, but go ahead and share what you were saying before I interrupted you. And when he comes back on, we'll give him space.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm on.
Oh no, I just wanted to say that I just wanted to interject that, and I wanted to give him space to share his comments. Um but his internet is acting up. So you were saying you were responding to Risha or to Coach Claiborne? I don't remember.
Dang, I think I forgot. I forgot.
6 more seconds. That's probably why.
No, it was something to Coach because I wanted to get into his to open up his. I wanted to see where his heart from when it came to. I forgot, but I really wanted to hear his wisdom on something, but I forgot the question. My bad. I'm sorry.
2 points off for Team Man. That's the Sunday line. That's your points off. So you already messed up earlier. Coach tried to tell you, tried to save you, and you didn't
Oh
listen.
no, that wasn't a mess up. That wasn't a mess up because she backed me. Sister Epps backed what I said.
You still
So
points
that wasn't a mess
off. Doesn't matter. Still points off.
So let me
Anyway,
let me since we get ready to go off, let me be messy with Risha.
come on.
Want to if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. I don't want to tell you what to do. I want you to know what to do. When I walk in the door, my presence tell you what to do.
But that's still you telling me what to do.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying.
We got a video
not
out there that we're gonna do tomorrow. This statement blows my mind. I need you to be masculine so I can be feminine.
I don't believe in that.
no.
Either you're feminine or you're not.
Yeah, my masculine.
Because watch this. The way my masculine is set up, I don't need you to be feminine for me to be masculine.
Correct.
Because I'm gonna be masculine whether you're feminine or not.
Correct.
Because that's the way my masculine is set up.
Correct.
As Kevin Hart was saying, that's the way so if your feminine is set up that way, there is no tug of war. There is no me happening. And here's the thing. I move in a space where you ask me to tell you what to do. I just feel like messing with you. Well, I move in a space where you beg me to tell you what to do. That's the space that I move in my masculinity.
So let me go on the comment. So here's the thing.
Wait, you just pleading with me, please, baby, please.
Just like your masculine, my femininity lends to your masculinity, which helps you to do what you need to do in your masculine state, and vice versa. And I absolutely agree. When you walk through the door, if you were in your masculine aura, if that's what it is, if that's what you're exuding, it's gonna be some things that's gonna jump, that's gonna scream, it's gonna be some movement.
Absolutely.
And that's just what it is. And it doesn't require anything. So which is why
but see, before I walk in the door in this new society, it speaks in your DM. It speaks in your text message. It shows up when you hear me talk on social media. That's the way. If it's so, this new and not you. I'm really gonna. But there's such a big fight on social media about what. No. I don't have to prove to you I'm a man.
No, not
and I'm not saying you. I'm saying that this is the society that we live in. That many women. I don't have to prove to you I'm a man. I know I'm a man. I don't have to prove. The thing they deal with, Lady Dawn, you always in when the right one comes. We in his own. This is all the time. The thing of I need him to be in his masculine for me to be in my feminine. No, you don't. Because
No.
either you are, even with I say to some of the guys about respect, because they say if you're in a certain space, you're in a certain financial bracket, so and so. They give out all these excuses why a woman can't respect you. And I said to them, that's foolishness. Because here's the thing: a respectful woman is a respectful woman, no matter what.
Correct.
If she makes, I dated a woman that was a lawyer. She was a defense lawyer. She had millions of dollars more than me, but she never disrespected me once, because in who she is was respectful. When that person is so, then it is so. I don't have to. There's a difference in demand and command. My presence command that level of respect, and you do, like you say, everything moving versus demand. And the reason why I say that, while I was joking with you, there's a lot of men that fall into the place of demanding. And that's why you say, if you can tell me something, you can tell me something. Most men hear that as a demand. I myself move into a space of command, that my presence, well, y'all know, I believe in command and everything. So I command that to happen. I get up, and when that command is in place, as you say, how he moves, that just makes her so. But a lot of people don't fall into that space because you need me. I don't need to be rough with you. I mean, when I hear it in our room, a lady doing in the afternoon, it's like he's got to talk a certain way. He's got to. No, I don't. I can talk just as nice and just as I still get the same feeling. But it's like he has to be a certain way, and he has to be so macho and cavemanish. I don't think that I have to be cavemanish or macho to get, for me, to get that level of respect, or that being able to tell you what to do. And I'm only going to tell you what to do to certain levels, because I really believe that there's some things I should just be able to share. And it's just a beautiful exchange that we could just roll together. I could call a play and you can run with it. It's just simple as that. But most other people, and I'm not saying it was you, I just wanted to be able to say that, hey, I don't want to fight with nobody. I want to just do what I say do. Dog, anime, just eat the cake. Okay, buddy.
Nick, also, when you mentioned the
anime, eat the cake. I'm tired of you not eating the cake, doggone it.
We gotta eat the cake. Hold on 1 second. Let me just read a comment. I'm sorry. I don't want you to lose your place on it. Pastor Chris said, sorry, fam, my internet just went down. My apologies. So he's still hanging in there in the comment section. He also says, thug tendencies have been played out for the last 15 years now. Let's grow up. Oh my God. But I think also what happens that statement speaks to two things. Number one, and Von Eric, don't forget what you're trying to say this time. Write it down if you have to. I would be right down. Right. We don't want you to forget. But one thing I think it speaks to is when we make that statement of if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. A lot of it speaks to the root of confidence. A woman wants a confident man. It's not about how much you make. I don't care. Money is something we can make. Some money you're not going to make until I come into your life, until we enter into partnership. Why? Because I'm not a resource. I'm an asset. I grow things for you. I add to you. I add to. And then again, there's some things that you're just not going to acquire on both sides of the fence until we come together. And that's how it comes. That's how we obtain our wealth. But I need you to be confident in you. Whatever it is, not in competition with other men or competition with anybody else. Be confident in who you are. Because in order for me to even... if you're in competition with someone else, you might be bringing somebody else to my attention. I ain't looking at them. I'm trying to focus on you. So stop bringing to my attention someone else that I'm not even thinking about, because then you're going to make me compare you and them and you. And then that adds to, no, bro, be confident that what you got, whatever they have, what you have is just as good, if not better. Why? Because you got me, because you have my attention. That's it. Here we go. Pastor Chris said, play the tape, Von Eric. Look to the tape. But that statement, I believe the root of it speaks into the confidence of a man. Show up confident. And when I see that you are showing up confident, that helps me be secure in you and in us. And then I have no problem with whatever it is that you need, either doing it before you even ask for it, or doing it because you're asked for it, or doing it while you're thinking about it. Either one of those things is going to get done by my hands, because you are coming with this confidence that I'm secure in, so I know how to move freely in that. But if you can't do that, then you just can't do it. You're not going to get those things out of me. Also, as far as that whole, I need you to show up in your male energy so I can show up in my female energy. That is I'm gonna say this, that's a young person's mentality. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of them, when we're in those other rooms and spaces, you got to look at the age ranges of the people that are talking and the culture of their time. A lot of things, the things that they say is also because it's a mentality that was passed down from the women before them that raised them. And I say it's all the time, you're being taught by wounded women. And there's a difference between being taught by a wounded woman who's healed versus a wounded woman who's still struggling with her wound. Because she's going to teach you and tell you, the one that's still struggling with her wound, she's going to teach you and tell you, yeah, don't give in and be this until he, don't be submissive until he does this. No, that's because you didn't get that, Mom. That's the problem. Because you didn't show up. I don't know how you showed up in the space. I don't know the quality of the man that you chose. If you chose Billy the crackhead on the corner, what did you expect for him to bring you? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to the man who is out there on his grind, doing his job every day, showing up in a responsible way. Like, you're upset because you exposed yourself to lack and didn't give yourself the chance to be of something that's quality. So now you're passing down your disappointment to the next generation, and you're not even giving them a chance to have a good, healthy, open relationship with a space that you are expecting, that you're accepting the person that they're meeting with who they are. We have to enter into partnership with each other. Not all the rest of this. So yeah, I'm not with that whole, I'm going to be in my feminine energy all the time because that's who I am. Now, I may not enter my soft girl era all the time, because to me, that's a space where when I'm with my man, I want you to make me feel so comfortable that all the rest of the hardness that I have to be all day long fades away. I want to know that I can relax my shoulders by leaning on your shoulders. I want to know that I can put my head on your chest and your chest can hold it up, and without you having to switch position or, baby, it's too heavy on this side. You know what I'm saying? I need to know, can your chest, because listen, I love me some shoulders, but I'm just saying, can your shoulders cause mine to relax? Yep. Can you create that? Now that I'm with, if we talking about a safe feet, soft girl energy with a man showing up in his masculinity, but I don't need you to be in your masculine energy just because. Like, I don't need you to do that. No, I'm gonna be, I'm bringing mine all the time because that's how I'm built. And maybe that's why some of them are still wondering when the right one comes. I'm just saying. Let me read these comments. Cheryl says, I don't know about you ladies, but the sexiest thing a man can have is come with confidence and walk in it knowing who he is and walking in it, not arrogance. Yes, and yes. I love a confident man. Be confident in you. I don't need you to compete with everybody else. If I wanted everybody else, I would be going after everybody else. But if I've decided that I'm going to sit at this table with you, I don't care if we at McDonald's. I don't care if we at the Cheesecake Factory. I don't care if we at the park sharing a sandwich. I don't care. Mm-hmm. But be confident in who you are, period. With whatever you have. Period. There's nothing sexier than a man who is confident and sure of himself, even in your struggles, even in your brokenness, even in your imperfections, still become, because those are things that will come and go. But you, at the core of who a confident man can get out of any situation.
Yep. Flex your no. Your KNOW. Flex your no.
Right. You can get out of it. You confident because that's how you built and you wired. You always gonna be looking for the solution or the resolution to whatever's going on because you confident. We ain't staying here. This is temporary. If you're not confident, then what am I? Where does that leave me? Then I'll be scared as all get out. Like, wait, what we doing? Hold up, bro. Because you got the strength. You supposed to go first. What are we doing?
Right.
And I don't mind, and I'm not saying it has to be that all the time, that's Chris said that part, but I'm also here that when you're not sure, to be that voice that builds it, like, babe, listen, I hear you. You could be down for a minute, but you can't stay there. Like I know the weight of things are heavy right now. I get it. I hear you. I know it's taxing and I know it's starting to make you feel uncomfortable. I know you may not be certain, but what I do know about you is that you will always find a plan. You will always figure something out. You will always take the first step. So yeah, feel what you're feeling and get it out your system, and I got you, but we're going to get up from here. Why? Because the man I know you to be is always going to show up. Don't accept defeat. You're always going to find a way to press through, and I got you. And when you can't press, I'm going to push. That's how I am.
Remind him who he is.
Exactly, because we can't handle it now, bro. I need you to get up from here. Like you can't. There's too much in you for you to stay down in this space. I can't see you go out like that. I can't let you give up on yourself. I can't see you quitting. That don't work. It don't resonate well. It don't sit right. Pastor Chris says an empire can't be built without a strong leader, but it's the queen that brings the power of the empire. That's right. Ladies, you got to know your place. Listen, you could speak life or death into the man, into your life. Like Pastor Chris said, it's not an easy journey because if you've never experienced, but as a woman in your life, it's my job to help you have that experience. And we have to stop expecting men to show up already in these perfected spaces. We got to help build and nurture and develop each other. I am the piece that you've been missing to help you come out of what was into your, as Pastor Sheila puts it, in your not yetness into your next. That's what I'm supposed to do. But men also have to allow a woman to do that and to be that. So, yep, we all got to play our part. Coach said, that's good. Listen, it's the real deal. Women, we may not like it, but it's the truth. And I think that's one of the things that push men particularly out into this space, tying it into the topic, will push a man into the space of beginning to cheat or seeking those things outside because you are not speaking to his growth and his development. You keep speaking to his lack. Well, get there. If he wants to go back to school, what does it take away from you to say, okay, baby, where you want to go? You don't know how. Okay, well, what school? Let's see. This is what I let me help you. Why is that such a hard thing for us to do nowadays? But when that man gets to his peak and he's making 90, not six figures, but he's, multi-millionaire, all of a sudden now you're proud of him. If you didn't put in the work when he was in the valley, I don't think that you should be resting with your ankles crossed on the mountaintop. I'm just saying. I'm going to yield my mic. One of y'all say something because I'm ready to go somewhere.
What? I was getting ready to push it. I'm going to go ahead and reach it because I was going to say that. What? What is going on around here?
Listen, I'm just telling it like it is. I be mad with us as women. I'm sorry. I do. I get mad with us. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it because we do this thing of like the worst pissing contest of wounds I've ever seen in my life. It's like we got to argue about who's hurt the most. Everybody's hurt. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how you got your scars. I got mine too. Okay, but I'm not here to fight with you about. I don't know what she did to you, but you know what, bro? I'm sorry. I'm to every man that never got an I'm sorry from a woman, but you needed to heal and move forward. I am sorry. I am sorry if you've never heard it. I am sorry. I'm so sorry that whoever she was didn't see enough in you to speak life into you and instead took away from you. I am so sorry that we have mishandled you, dropped you, and not treated you properly. I really am. I am so sorry that some men have been so broken because you trusted the wrong person at the wrong time that now you feel like you don't even have pieces to put back together, but you have some dust in your life and don't think that's enough. I hate to tell you, but I'm going to tell you, even if you are in that place where you only have dust, guess what? We're going to add some water to it and we're going to mix it until it becomes some kind of substance so that you can have something to start over with. We're going to work with what we got. But men got to get up from here. Ladies, we got to do better. And we can't be like, well, what about me? What about me? If you build that man up, he will pour back into you. Why? Because I firmly believe that no matter what, he will remember the one who was there. And Von Eric and Coach, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care who else comes along in his life. You will have left an imprint on him that'll be like, you know what? I don't care who else. Look, ain't nobody better there. Ain't nobody there for me more than she was. And because she earned this spot in my life. She earned all my heart. She earned all my peace. She earned, why? Because when everybody else didn't see it, when nobody else spoke to me, I was at my worst and she was still there with me telling me about my best. Ladies, we got to do better in that, because I believe that when you do that for a man and do it honestly, not because you want something from him, but the only thing you want from him is for him to get better and be better and be good and okay, that man will pour back into you without you even having asked, because it will be a piece of you in him. We have to learn to invest ourselves back into our men. What we're looking for as out of men, we have to get, we're nurturers. Mm-hmm. Nurturing doesn't stop after we have a baby. Nurturing continues when we are in relationship and in marriage. You still have to nurture your husband in the way that he needs it. Nurture that man in your life. I'm just saying, because I've been, y'all done got me started now. I don't even know how I need to calm myself down. Pastor Chris said, here is another one. I'm not saying I'm a gold digger, but I'm messing with Brokey, with the broke. The songwriter said he did that. That's a song. That's a song. Yeah. I'm just saying it has to start somewhere. You know, so sometimes we have to take the risk, ladies, of being that bridge for men and trusting that when we will not be forgotten. And there are a lot of men and a lot of women who you may invest in, and they may turn around when they get up and they, you know, you feel like you build a man, fixing a man for somebody else, for the next woman. And guess what? If that should happen, I promise you still, he will never, ever forget what you did. And he will always be looking for you in that next woman. But he's not going to find her. No other one, like Claiborne said, ain't no other woman that can do what I do. Can't do it. Why? Because I'm the only Dawn that there is. I'm the only Lady Dawn B that there is. So you might be able to do it, but you can't do it like me. My mark is unique. Mm-hmm. Every woman's is. You got to know yours. So yeah, when a man is confident, it causes me to be more confident. Bruh, you better put your shoulder. I said, say it with your chest and your back. Okay? I am not mad at you. I'll be clapping and sweating, wiping the sweat off your brow. I'm just saying. I'm going to rest my mic because y'all done got me started. I'm just saying. See what you did? See what you did, Claiborne? Now you got to pray hard tomorrow morning. Come on, Risha. Come on, Von Eric. Y'all say something. I can't.
No, I agree with it. Like it's that's when I look at, so let's say this. When I think about men in general, especially the era that in our age group and even younger, when you have a lot of single parent households, a lot of things that were taught, we as women taught them. We as women showed them either the lack thereof or whether it was needing to get them a mentor, whatever it was that they needed because they were in our care as children. we facilitated what this is that we have now. That's my opinion. So while we get into this space where you say, well, I don't want to build a man for somebody else. It just speaks to your character. I don't think it has anything to do with building a man or not building a man, but I think it's just who you are in society, what you are called to do and how you are called to be. And if you are his piece, like the piece that's missing, if you are truly his piece, then you will be his peace, his PEACE, the piece that's missing that brings him peace, because that is part of your character, that is who you are. But a lot of these things we taught our boys to be forward tough, if you will. Don't cry, don't show your emotions. Those were the things that even as women, when the fathers were absent, that we instilled in them, or we brought them in and made them men of the household before they were even ready, put them in places and spaces that they weren't necessarily ready for, which in itself caused trauma, because you put weight on them that they weren't ready to bear. And so when they go out and now they don't want to bear the weight because they've been bearing it for so long, in the wrong way, in the wrong spaces, at the wrong time, now they go out and get somebody, and that's not what they want to do. But that's because they've been overused and abused in the spaces that were meant to protect them. Because we, as women, not all women, but some, we had a need, and we put our male children in the space to fill those needs. And so they've been getting it out the mud for a very, very long time. So what it does is it distorts the views of relationships, how they operate, how they see your mother versus your wife or your girlfriend. It distorts a lot of things because we as women put them in spaces as children, as young men, that they were not yet ready for and not designed to be in. With that being said, you do have that confident man. Though I'm switching gears here, hitting the hard left. Brings me to the point of submission. When a man is confident and he operates in who he is, it allows, like, I'm gonna be feminine whether you're masculine or not. But when we come together in our assigned roles, it's like beautiful music. And one lends to each other. And when you think about a sonata or just any kind of musical piece, there are some highs and some lows, some sharp points and some, when you think about notes and how music flows and the crescendo of a thing, we ebb and flow together. And that's what submission is. It's being able to flow because there is a current. We don't stay in relationships long enough or get to know people in a way where a current is developed. Everybody wants to do their own thing and go their own way. And I'm going here, but I need you to come with me. But we haven't solidified who we are separately to know if we're compatible even together. Because let's be real. When I see you, I don't know anything about your intellect. I don't know anything about your dialect. I don't know anything about your education. When I see you, all I see is your physicality. You look good to me. You smell good to me. And a lot of times, especially in today's society, it stops there. It's hips, lips, and fingertips. And it doesn't go any further. And then you wonder why relationships don't last, or people keep ending up in the same situations with different people, because they don't know any better. And there is nobody there to teach them anything different, because right now what society is showing you, it's everybody's doing it. That this is how we function. Everybody can do anything that you feel like you're big and bad and bold enough to do. And it doesn't take into accountability who you're with, who you're doing it to, or who you're doing it for, as in complimenting somebody, pulling them alongside of you, having a conversation with them. When we talk about cheating, I used to ask my children all the time, what's the difference between an an excuse and a reason. A reason comes before the event. Excuse comes after. Talk to me. And if I'm not listening to you, then talk to somebody else so that you can make a better conscious decision about how you move.
Mhm.
But a lot of that, like I said, it still goes back to we as women, because we've raised this generation of men. We raised them. Most of the values that they have, they come from us. It's broken homes, it's single family, single parents or single women raising. It's us. So you can't be mad at what you see in another man or what you see in your man, when technically, if you look at your children, if you have sons or you have nephews, you instill the same thing. I can have a man and say, don't cheat on me. And you will tell your nephew, oh, don't let that girl tell you don't let that girl handle you like that. Don't let you see what I'm saying? The juxtaposition between the conversations that we have, because I want something over here, but I'm telling those that's closest to me to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
There is not the character of the type of, or the kind of character that we're exposing our young Black men to is detrimental to society as a whole. And we have to fix ourselves, whether that means getting therapy, figuring out what we need to do better, so that we don't intentionally or even unintentionally bleed on people who we should be helping. Because old folks say all the time, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But I ain't concerned for nobody. That's my spot.
I love it. I love it. I love your share, sis. And I don't want anyone to misunderstand, ladies. We are not absolving men of whatever they do and don't do. No one is overlooking that. And I think that's another, we have to stop saying, like, when we're dealing with us, we turn around and say, well, what about them? And what about, no. Let's keep the thing a thing. Let's focus on what we're doing over here. Let's focus on us getting us together, and let them deal with them. I don't know what it's like to be a man. I've never been a man. I've never wanted to be a man. I've only wanted to be with a man, but I've never wanted to be with for the rest of my life. I am team man. Okay. But I'm just saying, we have to get to a point where we are starting to deal with us as women. We have to have these conversations that are about us and how we're showing up. Because then when I don't care what he does. He has to be responsible for what he does. When I'm in a relationship, listen, I know what I brought. I know what I came to the table with you with. I know how I treated you. And what you decide to do with it is a different story, and how I respond to that is a different story. But we have to start working on us. So I just wanted to make that clear. Like, we are not saying that it's all us and not men. No. It's all men and not women. But each one of us has to work on us in our own area so that we can come together healthier and moving forward. No matter who you get and who you're with, they're going to be broken in some degree, some way, shape, or form. And we have to start learning how to heal each other. So thank you, sis. That was amazing. Come on, Trouble. Share something. Not you, Coach. You a different kind of trouble. I'm gonna leave you for last because you double trouble.
No, I'm good. Let Coach go. But what y'all said is very powerful. It was much wisdom in both of y'all. Sister Epps did answer my question, by the way, but that was powerful what she said. But yeah, go ahead, Coach, because you're gonna probably answer my question. I don't even have to answer. I know you're gonna answer.
What do you have any final comments or thoughts before we because Coach gonna tear it up because his other partner already departed. Unfortunately, the internet wouldn't let him be great. Right. But so he gonna do the job for both of them is what happens.
Well, he gonna probably do the job for me too.
Oh. Representative tonight. Is that what you're saying? He's the representative.
Whatever he say, his words, my words. Go ahead, coach.
Well, come on, coach.
This has been wonderful and it's been absolutely amazing. We've had a great time. And while we did not 100% stay with the question that was asked or the topic, can a cheater be reformed? Can a cheater get a second chance? The answer simply is yes. Everybody deserves a second chance, and everyone can get a second chance. And someone will come around. Someone will come around that doesn't even know anything about your past. Someone will come around that will move you into a space that you no longer have reasons or need reasons to move into that space. Someone will come along and simply be the peace that brings you peace. Someone will simply or add to your peace. Because I always believe that we all should come with our level of peace. I don't necessarily need her to be my peace. I just don't need her to be my pain. I
Oh,
want
voice.
I don't need her to be my peace, but I don't want her to be my pain. I want you to add to my peace. Be an asset and not a liability. Be the one that can that can be the calm in the midst of the storm. Simply be the safe lap. You simply, and the safe lap is not just necessary when I'm dealing with something or when I'm going through, but that you create such an environment that makes me want to be there with you. You create an environment that makes me want to come home. I create an environment that makes you want to be. See, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many cars you have. I don't care how big the house is. I know a lot of people that live in million-dollar mansions, but they don't want to go there. I know a lot of people that got a lot of things going on. We would think that things would be great. We just the sadness of what happened to the CEO of United Healthcare. That was a very sad situation. But when they dug in further, what was dug in further is that him and his wife have been estranged. You got one of the highest positions of one of the greatest companies. You make millions of dollars. And yet y'all live in two different properties. He brought his own $1 million property since 2018. And this is 2024. I don't want to live that life. I don't want to live a life where I take days to call you back because I don't want to hear the argument. Because I don't want to deal with certain things. But on the same token, something, and I don't know if we're gonna deal with tomorrow, but something that came across, and I was responding to our chat to get prepared for our conversation, and I posted something that Steve Harvey had talked about that I think is we're still celebrating narratives. So what you were talking about, Lady Dawn, is that we gotta cut these narratives that this is okay. Something you said, Prophet Reed, we got to cut this narrative that it's not safe over here, or that it's okay to be unbalanced, or that it's okay. We have got to stop this narrative. And so one of the narratives that Steve said that I think is we are perpetuating a toxic narrative. He made the statement. They asked Steve what would make a happy marriage, and Steve said, "Shut up. You as a man should shut up." And so there was another young brother who's married down there, and he says, "What if you right?" And he says, when? When are you right? He said, you'll never make it to 15 years. And I sent the post in, I sent the reel. I said, I used to agree with this, but I don't agree with this. We're still perpetuating happy wife, happy life. I'm tired of that perpetuation. That is wrong. Happy spouse, happy house. That you mean to tell me that I've got to walk around on eggshells because I'm married to a barracuda? Absolutely not. I should be able to express my feelings. I should be able to disagree with you when I don't agree. I should also be able to express my feelings. I should be able to go into the huddle. This is another plug. I should be able to go into the huddle. Because in the huddle, they call plays. In the huddle, they also talk about what was good. Yo, you blew that play. In the huddle, they also talk about celebrations that you got the touchdown. I should be able to do that. I should be able to say to my wife, I don't agree. And it's not turned into, I ain't gonna have peace in my house. Because if I gotta walk around in such a way that I'm not gonna have peace in my house because of how I respond to you, you're not gonna be in my house. Mm. You don't need to be in my life if I got to live that kind of life. Same way with you. If you such married to a caveman that you can't say as a woman, babe, I don't agree. and he not turning to Ike, then you don't need to be with him. You should be able to not eat the cake. Well, not in my house. You're eating the cake in my house. But I'm just talking about all the other people's houses. I'm too short for you not to eat the cake. You have got, Eric, you got to eat. I'm too short. I got issues as a short person. You got to eat the cake in my house. Just
Lord.
appease me. You eat the cake. Just appease me. Just animate, eat the cake, and we're gonna be all good. That's the only reason why she had a problem. Okay, that's it. She wouldn't have lied. That's why. Okay, watch. So Lady Dawn ain't gonna never invite me back now for sure. That is why. So
I'm coming back.
so in the end results, we do not agree with cheating. We're not saying cheating is right. We don't know about Arisha, but all of us on here last week talked about we've had those moments where we've been there. I've had some moments where I was not there. I had some moments where I made that decision to go that route for different reasons. While it was there, of course, they will never tell you that I talked to them about the reasons before it happened. They'll never tell that story because that story would be that would be too much. Like, oh, so he was trying to get you to do right. He was begging you to do right. He was asking you to do this, that, and the other, and you decided to not do. And I am not saying that it was right. Sometime a moment happened that wasn't a long-term situation. It was a moment. That doesn't mean I don't deserve to be happy again. That doesn't mean that I don't deserve it. Because what happens, it's real crazy how when that person get hurt, they put their mouth out there as if to say, you don't deserve anyone else because you left me or because it didn't work with us. Who are you to say that? So it shouldn't happen? No. So because maybe what? And I'll end with this lady doing, maybe the next man or the next woman can put them in such a space and can be so amazing that they don't even want to do that. And they want you and you only. That might be. It happens. There are people that are coming. Come on. I mean, look at so many great couples and some of these folks that are getting married now. They got another shot. Someone asked me today, they say, Claiborne, you think you're going to ever do that again? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe that there is someone that's willing to go the distance. I've done 10 years, but I want to go the distance to death. Like I want to buy, Risha, I want to buy a grave plot for 2. I'm not trying to go out here by myself or go out it alone. However, I'm not trying to live with hell and pain. I'm not trying to live. I'm not. I would rather be by myself before I have to deal with another broken woman. I've done it. I am tired of it. I'm not doing it again. I would rather be by myself. But I don't believe that every broke woman, that there is some woman that is healed, that is whole, that is delivered, and that's waiting for this small piece of leather that's well put together. That's for this fine man. You know I wasn't gonna go out here before I said he's fine and he can pray. So 6:30 in the morning, he's anointed, he can pray, he can talk to God.
Where to find you?
Come on.
And I gotta buy Eric. I got to remind them anytime.
Come on.
There is some woman that can handle that situation and agree with him. That's all I want. I just need I ain't asking for much, Lady Dawn. Just come in my life and be like,
that's not a lot. That's not a lot.
That ain't, I ain't asking for the paper, nothing. Just remind me every now and then. It ain't even got to be every day, but every now and then. Wow. I don't think that's asking a whole lot. Risha, I don't think that's asking much. I think that's a small thing to ask. Just
Small
let me know,
thing.
remind me. Yeah, that's a small thing. And just keep me smiling, keep me happy. People say, I think that these are the things that we all can put on the table sometimes I feel like this, Lady Dawn, finding these amazing relationships is like the Loch Ness Monster. Sometimes it's like Bigfoot. Sometimes it seems like it evades you, but it does show up. I'm gonna keep commanding my morning until
Come on.
until my morning show up. I'm gonna keep
Come
commanding my
on.
until my morning. I'm gonna shake the evil.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell my morning
You gonna tell it? What you gonna tell it?
and my day.
What you gonna?
To be kind. Thank you, Lady Dawn.
Come on.
I'll be back whenever you let me.
And what time you gonna do all this? What time you gonna do it?
6:30 every morning. First of all, let me say this.
What you gonna
Women
do?
who with me got to be able to handle all 3 days of screaming and hollering. 3 days.
Jesus.
She got to be able to
Mighty God.
handle 3 days at 6:30 in the morning.
Did he
of
say
me calling
screaming
on
and
the
hollering?
Lord. Now I pray every day,
He
but
did.
when I'm on it, she got to be able to handle that this man gonna talk to God and he gonna talk to God
Ooh.
really loud.
I
He's
have
gonna
a
talk-
question. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever talk to God calmly?
Never.
That is. See, you gotta define calm, clarify and define. That is his calm.
That's
That
just
is
my
his calm. That is his calm. It is his calm.
That is as
Never
calm as
been in the room. That is his calm.
he can get.
That is as calm as he can get.
Lady Dawn come in the room on the afternoon and they be like, "Do you have to talk?" Yes, this is who I am. I talk like this. I'm excited. I am angry. I'm passionate. I'm excited. But watch this. She don't have no problem with me talking loud when I need to talk loud. They don't have no problem then. They just have a problem.
Why are you so aggressive? I'm like, y'all, if you do, that's just how he talks. Like,
That's it.
but like
After
you,
look in prayer after the music go off,
Yeah.
it's up.
then they tell him he too little to talk that loud, to talk that strong. I'm like, listen, then you ain't the one. You need to stop talking to him because this is nice.
That's all you gonna get. But
So
here's the thing. The flip side should be: do I want a man that don't talk to God at all?
Ooh, Jesus, not at all.
Talk loud, sir. I'd rather you talk loud.
Talk
Oh, this
loud.
one right here. That's the question I be asking them. Y'all been how many? I just told someone today. I don't know if the last several women in my life, I've been the first saved man and the first preacher they ever had. I don't know if I want to be the first. I'm not sure. I'm not saying I'm knocking it off.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a pioneer.
I know, but when you're the first one that they ever dealt with that
Discover America for them.
this, they don't know how to handle a man who loved God like this. See, I'm not just a person who go to church. You got men who just go to church. I love God with everything that I have. It's who I am. This is not a Lady Dawn has known me outside of this app. It's not this is who I am. I praise, I dance, I give it all. This is
We
my
met in
walk.
church in the midst of a
Yeah, this was my life. This is who I am. And so sometimes being the first that you ever experience, they can't handle it. They can't handle my passion for it. Even in the past, with all my travel, I was talking to someone that knew me 30 years ago. And they was like, I don't know if I could have been married to you then. They said because I was so sold out to traveling and preaching and doing what God said. Everybody couldn't handle it. Because if you can handle me, Miss Reset, then you can handle me.
Correct.
If you can handle me, and
the
most cannot. They think, and it's really when I'm joking, but some folks can't handle the loudness. The prayer, that's too much. I don't know if I want to be. I probably will be, but I don't know if I want to be the first saved guy or preacher you ever experienced. And that's probably not. It's probably won't happen because there's so many amazing church women, but there's very little church men. So there's very possible that whoever I spend my life with, I will probably be their first.
Wrap your head around.
She gonna whomever you are, future Mrs. Claiborne, if you are listening, Please join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 a.m. on Clubhouse and or on Facebook so that you can get this training that you're going to need for the rest of your life. Because we only experience him Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at
For a
6:30.
couple of hours.
But you will have to deal with him every day of the week, morning, noon, and night, because he prays all the time. Okay, by the time he comes into the prayer room, he has already had a couple of hours of his personal prayer, and we are sorry. And I am praying for you even now. Okay, so I'm just saying, come to the Michael Claiborne Husband Training Ground Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, it's going to say the Life Room, Commanders Nation, but for you, it is the
It's
Mrs.
your life. It's your life.
Your Future Training Camp. Okay, I'm I'm his lead prophetic administrator. I will be here to help and guide you through because you are going to need it. But you are in great hands. You're in great hands. We praying for you. We praying for you, Mrs. Future Claiborne. We praying for you. Now, I believe God is going to give you exactly what you. She can't be no newbie. She ain't ready for it. You got to be built up for this one. You can't. You can't be fresh out the gate just learning God. You can't, because you're gonna leave. You're gonna leave. We don't want you to leave. We want you to stay around. But thank you so much, all of y'all. This has been amazing. Again, we never know how the conversation is going to go. This is not scripted, not on any week, not any time, not any moment. We pick a topic, but we have free-flowing conversation because we want to keep it authentic, integral, and genuine. And wherever we land in a conversation is where we need it to be. So as this being part 2 of Can a Cheater Really Change? As Coach said, yes, a cheater can absolutely change. Anyone can change. You have to want to change, be willing to put in the work to change. And those who are with you have to be willing to give you grace as you are making your changes. So I hope everyone enjoyed this part of our conversation. Like I said, listen, at 8:30 it goes left. I tell y'all that all the time. I can never guarantee you what is going to happen, okay? But we invite you to watch the replay, share it, like, subscribe, invite a friend. Next Thursday, we will be back here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't have anything to threaten Bishop with again this week, so I just have to ask him if he will come back, because next I don't know what is happening Tuesday, because I keep wanting to say Tuesday. Next Thursday night, we are simply having relationship talk. Have a relationship talk, which would be a great open space for us to discuss some of the points that he brought up tonight, and his plug of his books. Her Lap, His Safe Place, which we stayed on that point because I think that is very key, as well as the huddle. So if Bishop is available, he can come back and share with us from those books some important keynotes, points that we've made up on tonight. Even just discussing the title on its own.
Not if the prophetess don't come back. I ain't coming.
That ain't right. We can't be.
I got to threaten somebody. I got to get a double.
See, and I didn't even threaten you today. I didn't even threaten tonight. But okay, so everybody's gonna be back. Von Eric, he don't have no choice. I'm just gonna kidnap him, period, through the screen. Hopefully Pastor Chris, if his internet allows him to be great, y'all know the encounter and the experience he has here all the time. For the month of December, we are just having free-flowing conversation, but we're gonna come back with relationship talk, just an open forum platform. And again, since Bishop has agreed and Prophetess Risha is going to be here as the backup, that is going to be amazing and wonderful conversation. We could talk about Her Lap, His Safe Place, and the huddle, because we want to get our relationships right for not just 2025, but for life. Also want to invite you the following Thursday on 12/19. We're going to be talking about growing through grief. That is going to be before the holidays, because truthfully speaking, the holidays are not happy for everybody. Somebody is missing from everyone's table, that we've all had to grow through their absence. It's not just about missing people, it's missing things. We all have experienced grief in some way, shape, or form, and have had to learn a new normal, that we have grown through the experience of grief and we are still growing. My dad's been gone about maybe 17, 18 years, and every holiday, every day, is not easy, but we press through. We don't ignore it. We don't go around it, but we grow through it because that's the way we get better. And on December 26th, we are going to wrap it up. Okay. I'm not even going to tell you what that's about. Yep, just wrap it up. I'm just saying, so wherever your mind goes, that's where it goes. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just saying, wrap it up. Okay, keep yourself safe. As Prophetess Risha says, make safe decisions with your life. Okay? And what that means to you is what that means to you. Okay, I'm not responsible, but we gonna wrap it up. We gonna end the year wrapping it up. Okay, so that's our rundown for the month of December. I'm happy to see you guys here on tonight. I really want to thank Pastor Chris, Pastor Chris, who is the encounter, the experience and the encounter. I want to thank Vaughn Eric, the mystery man. I want to thank my sister, Prophetess Risha. Come with the fire. Don't mess with her. Make safe decisions with your life. And of course, our coach, Michael Black Men Don't Cheat Claiborne, who came and joined us tonight. Tune in next week. Happy December birthdays again to my mom and to Lady Anitra. We hope that you guys are having a great time this weekend. Have a great Friday, everybody. Guys, hang out with me for a moment as we shut the show down. And Bravo Nation, have a great, great night. See you next time.
So focus on scoring, got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life dance. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the kick rock, skipping the coach, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my move to my beat, drop, put in my